Oiler insider, and Jersey aficionado.
Red shirts racing back as fast as they can. Fernandez for Argentina. In added time, the world champions are still in it.
60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream.
And he drills this ball to deep left center field. And it's gone. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. absolutely smokes one to left center for a line drive two-run homer.
It's all gas, no brakes.
Can he become a Swiss icon here?
It's all over. Switzerland are going to the quarterfinal of the World Cup, and they've got a date with Lionel Messi at Argentina in Kansas City.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Yes, indeed. Good morning. It's Thursday. It's game day. Lots going on in the world of sports. Happy to be here with you on Sports 1440 on the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Tom in studio, Brandon Douglas in studio, Fenny, Josh Fenwick also in tow, and we're ready to rock and roll and hopefully make your drive to work or start your day off the right way. Join the conversation as always, 1-833-401-1440. Of course, Bet365. At the World Cup, subs are important. When their number is called, they can change the game instantly. What they shouldn't be able to change, though, is your bet. Thanks to Bet365. Sub on, play on. When a player you bet on comes off, their sub stat count towards your bet. Learn more at Bet365. Good morning, gentlemen. Hello, Brandon.
Morning, Tommy.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing quite well. I'm looking forward to my first appearance down at Commonwealth for the summer for tonight's game. Get up there and take the game in. Hoping for a great turnout. The weather, a little questionable at the moment. Some drizzling rain this morning, but as we discussed earlier in the week, hopefully that can just get out of the way here on the first half of the day and open up a beautiful summer night in the city, as I was lucky enough to enjoy yesterday evening.
Go on.
So that was great. Well, we were playing.
How did the knee hold up?
The knee held up fine playing slow pitch. The game itself was a debacle of monumental proportions. We got absolutely mollywopped.
Oh, no.
To borrow a phrase from Eddie Steele. But hey, it's rec league slow pitch. I didn't lose any sleep over it. We'll look to bounce back a little bit better next week. But it was a beautiful night. Bugs weren't that bad. Little hazy that almost kind of helped keep the heat down so you could be out there and just enjoy a beautiful evening. Sit down, have a couple cold drinks.
Were they cool exercise. And crisp?
The beers were crisp, for
baby.
sure. They always are. I'm not a just roll the cans into the bag, whether it be my hockey bag or my ball bag or whatever. I got the cooler in tow. And usually it's just like a little handheld one that I can fit, 6-pack in for sure. But I always like to bring some extras in case someone else forgets theirs. So usually 7 or 8 beers along for the ride on any given sporting activity.
And that bag's coming back empty, I'm assuming.
More often than not.
Oh, yeah. That's how you do it.
That's when you bring beers. It's more likely that people, if you offer them one, they'll take you up on it, as opposed to if you only bring the couple for yourself, they'll just like, all right, see you next week, and they peace out. I like the camaraderie. I like the friendship to enjoy with my teammates. Exactly. It's really the only thing I bring to the table between my inability to stay on the field injury-wise and also my just general inability as an athlete. So.
Oh, stop it. You know what, though? It's better than, the guy that brings like a plastic bag with like 3 beers.
Just a grocery bag with like 2 Bravas in it.
Yeah, you're like, what are you doing?
And he pulled them out from underneath the seat of his truck. I've been there. It's not a situation you want to be in repeatedly or over and over again.
Definitely not. Fenny, good morning to you. How are you doing? Did you do anything last night?
No, just hang out with some buddies, watched the Jays game, and went on with my life.
Well, aren't you excited about a 10-0 victory in San Fran?
I mean, it's very exciting. I myself am not a Jays fan, but it is. I was very pleased to see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. get his 5th home run of the year.
It's like halfway through the year, and he's at 5 dingers. What do he have? He has like 26 RBIs now.
Yeah, that must be it. Somewhere
close to
around
that. I was looking at the stats yesterday, and Poor guy. I mean, the relief on his face when he hit that home run.
Oh, every time. Like he just hasn't been able to put it together. This year he has 37 RBIs.
My bad.
We were counting them out.
I shortchanged him.
Yeah, that's on us.
I feel ashamed. When you're making $500 million over the next 14 years, it's probably a little bit of pressure that comes with it. Maybe he's adjusting to the new contract. But good news for Blue Jays fans. They put together back-to-back wins. The bats were hot again. Brandon, were the bats hot for you yesterday?
I batted 1,000.
Perfect.
Myself. The knee was feeling good enough. I switched back to my natural left-handed side of the plate.
Okay.
I've been batting right-handed the previous outing.
Interesting.
To avoid a little extra torsion on the back knee. But, and nothing crazy, just some hard grounders up the gap, few bloopers over the infield head, and then I tag someone out to come run for me once I get to first base. And so technically I even scored a couple runs. I never crossed the plate myself, but the person that was running for me did a couple times.
That's okay. That's right.
I returned to my manager duties on the sidelines.
I love it. You're very prudent.
Yeah.
That's good. You're touching green, getting on base, giving your team a chance, and that's all that they ask for. Okay, we have a fantastic show. Brandon brought up the weather when it comes to tonight's game between the Elks and Red Blacks. Edmonton looking to bounce back after a tough loss in Kelowna to the BC Lions, and that game gets going at 7 p.m. You heard Brandon talk about the rain. I noticed it this morning. I'm like, oh no, what is going on? Did the forecast change again? So we're getting it out of the way early today. I'm going to put on my weatherman cap. I'm going to do my best Josh Clausen impersonation. Great guy, big Knicks fan, big Jets fan. Great weatherman. And so precipitation, light precipitation. We saw it on the way into studio today, guys. If it's like that, like it's supposed to be till noon, then the sun comes out. We'll have a mix of sun and cloud the rest of the day. It actually heats up as we move along. So if you're sitting there going, I kind of want to go to the game tonight, but if it's raining and miserable like it was 2 weeks ago against the Alouettes, no thank you. Not the case, because by kickoff, 19 degrees, a mix of sun and clouds, light wind, humidity at 64%. Percentage of precipitation doesn't even matter. It doesn't even factor in here, 20%. So should be a great night down at Commonwealth. Hopefully with the team at 3-1, a lot of people come on down, and a great opportunity for the Elks to improve to 4-1. On the show today, very exciting as always. Brandon puts together a great lineup. It's a team effort, but I give all the credit to Brandon. Chris Branch from The Athletic will be joining us. We will talk about the World Cup quarterfinals get going. France and Morocco to kick things off today, 2 p.m. Is that our time? Because have you noticed, guys, on the apps, the times have been off with the time zones?
Yeah, it kind of changes. Like some sites will tell you they're giving it to you in your time zone because we know that you're always geo-tracked and everybody knows where we are at all times. So
exactly.
2 o'clock, I believe, is kickoff from Boston. It's 2 o'clock Mountain Time.
That's right.
4 o'clock local time at Foxborough.
And now I bring that up because now that we're moving into the quarterfinals, semifinals, and then the final next Sunday, we've been so acclimated to like the 1 p.m. starts. I think there was some.
Well, even though there not being a game on yesterday, Tom, I was
right.
When I got home from work and the Jays game was just wrapping up. And I was watching Cease take the no-hitter into the ninth, and then all of a sudden that finishes, and I was like, all right, what am I to do now? And there's no footy on today. And then the Jays playing early, so when I got home from slow pitch, I have nothing to do. Go to bed, I guess.
No, don't do that.
Get a full night's sleep.
Yeah, well, that's good for you, they say. Speck will join us, as always, at 8 a.m. Easton Andrews, all-star first baseman from the Edmonton Riverhawks. The Hawks beating Nanaimo yesterday. Good to see them bounce back after losing the opener in the series. And Easton Andrews is headed to Victoria July 14th and 15th for the All-Star game. He'll join us, give us the scoop on the Hawks as they continue to put together a lot of fun down at the ballpark, and a really good team, exciting and great to watch. A lot of prospects in that league, and he's one of them. So we'll catch up with him. AJ Jakubic, Red Blacks play-by-play man. And oddly enough, boys, it's funny how things work in the universe, because when our old shop shut down 3 years ago and a month, it was AJ Jakubic who was supposed to come on. and there was no station to come on to. So we'll catch up with AJ. He's fantastic. You obviously know a local product from the Edmonton area, and he's now doing great work in Ottawa. And then Ryan Pike from Flames Nation will stop by as well for the Puck Report. And it's going to be a great show. Of course, join in on the conversation. Text us. You can get in on the conversation as well over on YouTube and on the chat side of things. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. PG-13 maybe. But yeah, we're going to have a fantastic show today. And then Ladislav Schmid. Him and I will be reunited, and it's going to feel so good. Do you guys think that Laddie and I will have the chemistry we had from his time as an Oiler and my time at Oilers TV, or we're going to have to refine
when you
it?
guys were just ripping and roaring every single night, or what?
Well, no, as I wink at you.
Yeah.
The rule of thumb, you didn't want to hang out with the players
too much.
Yeah, and it was different back then too. It was media was evolving, and the team media was just becoming a thing. So we stayed an arm's length away. Now you talk to and see go to Pittsburgh, Penn's TV people or Blackhawks TV people that are with the team all the time. You talk to their reporters and writers, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we went out to the team dinner last night," and I would always be flabbergasted, like, "Really? I wasn't even allowed to talk to the players when I was at the rink." I'm just kidding. I would talk to them, but Laddie and I did end up at the same establishments at times on the road. Those stories are not fit for air.
No,
but we had a good time. I'll talk to him. There's one, maybe I'll tell you guys in the commercial break when he comes in. I'll see if he remembers, but it involved Dustin Penner's return to Anaheim and some frivolities that took place. The Oil got the win in that game. Penner had 2 goals, including the game winner. So it worked out just fine. So we'll see how Laddie and I rekindle our connection. It's always good to see him in and around the city, and I'm curious to see how he is on air. I've listened to him a little bit, guys, over the past couple of years, but I don't know how it's going to be. So we're going to give it a shot.
He's really rounded into a true consummate professional. The first bit, I'll say this, Tom.
Yep.
We don't run on any delay here. I got no dump button back here.
Uh-oh.
We're essentially just turning things loose to the wolves. And Laddie's a very expressive person.
Yes.
And as a result, a few words that probably should have been bleeped out, they made their way to the airwaves. We got a few slaps on the wrist from our friends down the hallway and the upper ups of management.
Whoops.
But we told Laddie, we got to try and rein it in. And he's been great. When you take a guy that's a pro athlete and you say you just give him a task or an objective, they work hard towards achieving it. And he's done that in cleaning up his on-air language.
Well said.
I don't know if he would still, some of the things he says probably wouldn't pass on CNN or the BBC, but they're good enough here.
Okay. Well, I don't know if CNN and BBC would be interested in a 40-year-old from the Czech Republic that you can't understand when he gets overly excited. When did you come to North America? 20-some years ago? I'm kidding. I can't wait to see Laddie and have him in studio here. I was sad. I talked about it yesterday. I was sad that David Schlemko wasn't able to make it in. Schlemmer, hope you're doing well. The wisdom teeth, that surgery can be pretty tough, and hopefully he's ready to rock by next Wednesday. We're lucky. We have a lot of great co-hosts on this show. Eddie's back tomorrow. Spec, obviously, every day is fantastic. Gary Meyer tomorrow. I'm looking forward to doing an hour with Gary. We've been texting it's been an interesting week, boys. A lot of people that I haven't heard from in a long time, I'm hearing from, and it's great to hear from them. A lot of well wishes, a lot of people that listen to this station and really like it. A lot of positivity. So it's been a fun first week. My head feels like it's still spinning, but you two have certainly made it slow down, and it's been a lot of fun. And we're just rocking and rolling and finding our rhythm together, and away we go. So let's continue on there. All right. So we got through the weather for tonight, talking about the football game. We got Laddie coming in. We'll talk a little baseball with Easton Andrews and his all-star appearance next week in Victoria, which is fantastic. Looked like a nice night at the Riverhawks game. I dipped into the broadcast. You can watch those games on YouTube. And I think there was like a speed dating / like romantic theme to last night's game.
Might have been turning singles into doubles night.
That's the one.
Which many of our listeners, Tom, have pegged as it should be my night to head down to the ballpark. I was unfortunately otherwise occupied. Too bad.
Yes, you were busy with your own form of baseball.
Exactly.
I did. Donovan does such a great job as the host at Remax Field.
He's great. He's a riot.
He is a character. I don't know. Have you guys ever had him on?
No, we should.
I think he would be fantastic. Now, he would steal the show. The three of us wouldn't say a single word in a 15 to 18-minute segment, and everybody would be on the floor laughing. That's how good he is. And we wouldn't talk a lick about baseball or sports. And you're just like, what happened? That was great. He would be awesome to bring on. Maybe like on a Friday. Want to bring the good vibes. Something like that. But it looked like a good time down at Remax Field. And then the Riverhawks pull off the victory over Nanaimo, which is great. So Easton Andrews will be stopping by first baseman for the Hawks as he's getting set for the All-Star game next week. Let's go to the inbox. King of Fort Nasty says, good morning, Tommy, Duke, and Fenny. I was going to say, you want to keep it PG? Why are you bringing Vladdy on? Because he works with us. I think it'll be fine. Him and I had a good rapport back in the day, and I think we're going to be just fine. iMac chiming in says he'll be the happiest if you never say Czechia. Just ask him. My wife is Czech, and it sets her off, and most Czechs off. Yes, him and I have discussed this. We worked together doing some stuff with the World Juniors. Remember the summer World Juniors that were here when they had to squeeze it in coming out of the COVID years? We did a show for Hockey Canada and the IIHF, it was IIHF. And Vladdy was on for a game with me. And I asked him, like, where did this Czechia name come from? And he just ripped into it. He says, stupidest thing I've ever heard. Never heard of this. Now they want to call themselves Czechia. Maybe I'll get him going, iMac. Maybe I'll get him going. All right, we're off and running. We're going to get into some World Cup talk coming up after the break. Chris Branch will be joining us from The Athletic. We're down to the quarterfinals. 8 teams remain. Egypt continues to complain about its loss the other day to Argentina. We will discuss all of that and more with Chris Branch from The Athletic next, right here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
It's time to hit the greens. Elevate your golf game with Country Club Tour Golf Academy. No matter your experience, our PGA of Canada teaching pros are here to help. Enjoy lessons year-round between our 7 CCT golf courses and 2 state-of-the-art indoor facilities. Choose the location convenient for you. We offer private lessons, group lessons, expert club fittings, and junior camps. Visit our website to learn more and get ready to take your game to the next level. Booking is easy. Go to countryclubtour.com/golf academy and schedule your lesson today.
Canada's men's rugby team at Clark Stadium, July 11th. Don't miss an international doubleheader as Canada takes on Portugal and Tonga battles Spain. Build the home field advantage for Team Canada. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Kickoff is coming July 9th. Elks, Red Blacks at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Salute to Service presented by YEG Plus. Help us celebrate the heroes and first responders who make our communities great. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Area, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the 2 best names in the boots business.
BetMGM Casino is coming to Alberta on July 13th with over 4,000 casino games, including exclusive slots like Game of Thrones. Sign up early and download the app to get started. Then get ready to spin July 13th. See BetMGM.com for terms. 18 plus, Alberta only. Please play responsibly. Subject to eligibility requirements.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with the Alberta iGaming Corporation. Standard message and data rates may apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
France and Morocco shipping up to Boston. Quarterfinals action at the World Cup. Very exciting times. A lot of drama, excitement, complaining. Players going down like they got shot, looking for a call. The wonderful world of soccer, and it's just heating up. And we're going to talk with Chris Branch from The Athletic, senior writer, about that. If you have any comments and you want to chime in on the conversation, of course, text us. We want to hear from you. 1-833-401-1440. And then you can hit us up over on the YouTube chat as well. I see a few people that have already jumped in there. Good morning to all of you watching today on YouTube. Chris is our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, the MVP you didn't know you needed. For all your plumbing needs, go to mrrooter.ca. Welcoming in Chris Branch from The Athletic. Chris, I love the drama of the World Cup. It's expanded. It's here on our soil. It was up here in Canada for a chunk of games. Obviously, the heart of it is in the U.S., Mexico, drama down there at the games played. It's been fantastic entertainment, a world of controversy, as always. But leading up to today and the beginning of the quarterfinals, what have you made of the 2026 World Cup?
Well, good morning, Tom. Thanks for having me on. I have loved this World Cup. I honestly came into the World Cup a little skeptical because of the expanded field. I thought it would maybe water down the product just as a blatant cash grab, but it has been anything but that. I mean, we saw Cape Verde make their run. We've seen these great moments from teams that would have never made it. And then the soccer has just been fantastic all around. I wanted to make a point that you made about the players falling and refs. And while I agree with you mostly on that, I think the referees have been really good on that front of letting these guys play.
Yep.
You see these guys falling and screaming and nothing happening. And to me, as an American, I guess, coming in from this vantage point, it's been so refreshing to see these guys not rewarded for those kind of flops that they might get in club play. And it's been great to watch.
It is nice. It is a bit refreshing when you just see the gesture by the officials, and they kind of like set the table, and they do that hand wave. They're like play on, and they look at the player that's down with disappointment. No, you're not getting the call. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. We brought it up. We talked about the officiating and all of that. There's still noise coming from the Egyptian team, and they were saying not fair, and that loss to Argentina. What do you make about the case that they're trying to make for themselves in regard to the game in the round of 16 against Argentina? Do you think that they have a case, or do you think they're being sore losers?
I think they have a case. It's unfortunate that goals should not have been waved off. They did allow 3 goals late to Argentina. Like, let's just be clear about that. That still happened. But a couple of the VAR calls in this tourney have been unfortunate, and that is one of the top ones. I mean, calling them sore losers sounds tough to me because this is a moment farther than they've ever been in the World Cup, and they have the defending champions on their heels about to go up 3-0 in a game, and that gets taken away. If I was an Egyptian fan, I would be really sore about that. But again, it was a great comeback from Argentina, and this is just how things go sometimes.
The magic of Messi and his legacy continues on. I mean, the guy was crying after a big game, and you're right. Like, they did allow, Egypt did 3 goals. And I just wanted to use sore losers to kind of make a point of emphasis. And I like how you countered that very much, Chris. I really appreciate that. All right. One other thing before we dive into today's game, the end of Cristiano Ronaldo on the international stage, the legacy he leaves behind, his tournament. What can you say about him?
You know, I was in Houston for that opening draw, that shocking draw against DR Congo. And I mean, it's complicated. This guy has been one of the best soccer players of all time in both club and international play, but has not really shown up on the big stage of late. There was a whole conversation, and I was in a couple of press conferences that was a little tense, where he probably should not have been starting or playing as much as he did on this Portugal team that was stacked with talent. You know, you watch a couple of the games, and he's taking shots that other guys maybe could have made. It's such a focus on him that it's an unfortunate end to what has been a spectacular career. So I think it's a little muddled right now. I think with time to breathe, we will appreciate his legacy even more. But it's interesting. I don't know if he should have played as much as he did.
I know he's such a superstar, and people just want to get their eyes on him in action one last time. But that's a fair point. Like, how do you balance that as the manager of the team? Like, do you want to appease the fans, but you need to win? The weight of the country's on your shoulders. It's an interesting dichotomy that the coaches have to deal with. But I understand, and I'm with you, man. Ronaldo, I think, is old. I'm 40 years old. I think he's older than me. And
he's 41.
Yeah, so to see him out there, amazing. Obviously, he keeps himself very fit. But I mean, when you got a young 23-year-old guy that can run just a little bit faster, might be just a tiny bit stronger, less wear and tear on the body, it makes things a little bit tougher. So at least he recognizes this is it and had his swan song, and it's over for Cristiano Ronaldo on the international stage. All right, Chris Branch with us as we talk World Cup, and France taking on Morocco. Canada dropping the round of 16 game to Morocco. It was heartbreak for us up here in Canada, Chris. And obviously it's the furthest Canada has ever gone, and call it a statement by our men's national side. Very proud of what they were able to accomplish. A good first half against Morocco, and then a team that's a contender and top 10 in the world just kind of took over in the second half. And then France just seems to be humming along. How do you handicap today's matchup?
I think it's going to be an interesting game because, as you said, I wanted to say, like, Canada should be proud because Morocco's a really good team, and which makes this game really interesting today. I just think that France is so good. They're so deep. They're so talented up front. You know, I don't think Morocco is going to do the thing that Paraguay did and kind of resort to, like, you know, trying to muck them up and be a little dirty. I think Morocco's a better team than that, but I do think France ends up coming out of this maybe with a 1-0, 2-0 victory. I just don't see anybody stopping France right now outside of maybe an injury happening, which you never want to think about, but they are just so good.
Yeah, it feels like they're a machine, and everybody talking about them cruising through the qualifying rounds and then the subsequent rounds after, and now they get Morocco. So their stiffest test probably in this tournament. The other quarterfinal matchups, we'll see Spain against Belgium, Norway, England, Argentina, Switzerland. I know you'll have your eyes on all of those. Which of those three other quarterfinal matchups do you think will have the best result on the field entertainment-wise?
Norway, England. I mean, maybe I'm just jaded by how great that England-Mexico match was.
Oh.
But if you put this English team that like was so gutty and was so impressive at Azteca, and you put them against Erling Haaland, like, yes, please give me extra time. Give me PKs. Like, I want all of that. I think Haaland, Norway is a good team, but Haaland has him on his back, and in one game anything can happen. But I mean, England has been so amazing in this tournament so far. I don't know if they're primed to actually win the cup, but this team has it. You know, it has some grit that can make a deep run.
That game in Mexico City was amazing. Watching that on Sunday was just something else. The venue, the emotion, the penalty kicks. Like, is that going to be the game of the tournament, or do you think there's another one in store that might be better than it?
If there is, we will profit, you know, as viewers, because it's going to be hard to top. You're right. Like the multiple PK calls, the drama, you could just feel the crowd through the television screen.
Yeah.
It was incredible. And if we get a better game than that, good for us. But I don't think we do.
I'm looking at some of the headlines coming out of the World Cup, and now Bieber is joining the halftime show with Madonna and Shakira and BTS. And I know that FIFA has kind of Americanized this World Cup. We joke about the hydration breaks, and there have been, believe it or not, this week, people defending the hydration breaks and talking about the heat, which is legit. And it's good that these guys are getting a chance to hydrate, but they were at Qatar 4 years ago. I don't think we had hydration breaks. It's just a way to monetize and squeeze in commercials. Some of the subtle changes or more in-your-face changes to this World Cup, how do you think that they've gone across?
I mean, the hydration breaks are probably the one bad thing. The jaded part of me thinks about how they neatly had commercials lined up and sold for this hydration breaks. This late entry into it. It just feels a little convenient. And I do think the hydration breaks kind of ruined the flow of the game. There were a couple games early on where, maybe one team had looked very good, and then the hydration break comes, and all of a sudden all momentum stopped. And soccer is such a game of momentum and flows that it's tough to square that up. But otherwise, I think it's been a great World Cup. I mean, we could talk about the Balogun red card, though, the big pockmark upon all of this about that. But outside of those things, it has still been a great World Cup, and I hope it ends well.
Chris, I'm glad you brought up the Balogun Red Cup, and then, the phone call and Johnny Infantino and the layers to that story that are there and were brought up. And people were kind of happy for an upstart American squad. And I know there's been struggles with the soccer side on the men's national team in recent years. And I know people up here in Canada are like, well, if they're struggling, that's good. Our Canadian guys can take advantage and kind of move up in the world standings and finally kind of have an edge over Team USA. But now when you look back on how everything went down, what thoughts come to mind since you've had some time to probably reflect on it?
It's just unfortunate. It's very layered too, because if you think objectively, he probably did not deserve to get called for a red card for that infraction. That's a yellow card. Everybody says, hey, that's a hard play, but he gets to play on. And then it's probably pretty bad that President Trump calls in what seems to be a favor, as he is saying, and then the red card suspension gets delayed for a year. It just reeks of corrupt, and it's just not a great look. And then I come out of it feeling bad for Balogun in a way, because he has become this avatar for this giant controversy, which he didn't ask for. And he just made a hard play. This all happened to him. He probably was feeling an immense amount of pressure at that game. And, he's a professional athlete, and that comes with the job. But it was a really tough environment for all of those guys. And you're right. You made a good point where this team had built up so much goodwill. They were playing beautiful soccer. And then this happened, and all of a sudden they get thrown into this mess that they didn't ask for. And I mean, I can't say that it drained them or not for that game, but the team was lifeless for that game for the first half, and then just wilted. I don't know if the political pressures around it, the conversation impacted them, but it was an unfortunate end to what was a really good run.
I want to ask you one more, just kind of like, I know we're really happy having Jesse Marsh as our men's national team coach now, and how he's embraced Canada and this team, and he's kind of the right guy at the right moment for this group. The U.S. has Pochettino. Why did Team USA not hire Jesse Marsh? Because he was in the mix, wasn't he?
He was, and I can't say for sure. It seemed like it was very close, and I know if you read some interviews with Jesse and some intel, that maybe he thought that he was promised the job at one point. That you can't say that for sure, but there was plenty of conversations. I honestly think it worked out. I mean, for the bad ending, Pochettino has been great for the U.S. And as you said, Marsh has clearly taken the Canadian job with vigor and led them to where they hadn't been before. And I think there's a lot of hope for the future, right?
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of good, young, promising players. Alphonso Davies, a kid from Edmonton, that is the captain. I mean, it's too bad Davies couldn't play more, but injury and Bayern's over the shoulders. That's an impressive
part of the run is that Canada looks so good without their best player really playing a lot of soccer.
I know. And the 15 minutes or 16 minutes that he played, they looked even better and more confidence, and they got the result in the win. So yeah, it's interesting, but it's a good time for Canadian soccer. Our women's side has been great for a long time, and the men's side is on the up and up. Okay. Chris, one more for you. I know you said France looks like they're almost unstoppable. They're cruising, and we could see them make their mark back to the final. Who else do you think might end up in the final, or do you think France might get surprised by somebody?
I don't think France gets surprised by somebody. The other teams I'm really bullish on, like I said, are England.
Okay.
I'm a little worried about Argentina. I'm not going to lie to you. I think the last 2 games they have almost been caught. The Cape Verde game, they almost lose. And they were on the ropes against Egypt. So
yeah.
I'm a little down on them right now, even though Messi is still Messi. So give me England outside of France at the.
Wow.
I say that, but it's to me, it's still France, and Spain is probably the second favorite in the betting books. I didn't check that this morning. I just have not been overly impressed with them so far, even though they are a stacked team.
I can't wait to see what happens starting today, France and Morocco. Chris Branch, our headliner of the day. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
Awesome. Our headliner of the day. There you go. Chris Branch from The Athletic. Brought to you by Mr. Rooter, batting 1,000 against clogs. That's MrRooter.ca. Some text came in. I feel like I want to use a Jay on right. You blew it. Craig texted and says, whoa. Egypt was not about to go up 3-0. They were going up 2-0, which is the same score they got to several minutes later. There is no guarantee they would have ever gotten to 3-0. Thank you, Craig. Appreciate that. Dr. Dick Richard. Feel like there's a joke there texting in. Are you really a doctor? I'm loving the World Cup, he says, but the dives have been so bad. I love watching guys screaming in agony only to immediately get up when the play has passed them by. That's the best. And Chris Branch made a great point. Like the officials not granting the foul and just kind of like looking at the player, and they kind of do that polite like hand gesture, like play on, keep going. I'm not giving it to you. So I appreciate that. And of course, there is controversy, and the Egyptian side is very upset, continues to be after being eliminated by Argentina with a bunch of crazy calls. And that game had its own craziness as well. I know we talked about Sunday's match between England and Mexico. That was a phenomenally entertaining match. And there's been a lot of them. And the reason for the entertainment value is spread, great soccer on the pitch. Controversy with the officials, battles on the field, injuries. It's just been dramatic, and this expanded World Cup, I think, has been super entertaining from a fan's point of view. Leduc Peter texting in says, Argentina dominated the stat line with expected goals at 3-1 for them. Egypt choked, period. Harry chiming in. Did anyone mention Ronaldo's suspension chalked off? FIFA is the issue. I will never disagree, Brandon, with anyone that says FIFA is a problem. FIFA is messed up. It really is, as a governing body.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's everything from the Balogun situation here, and Harry, he's brought it up many times, as other have. They wiped the Ronaldo suspension. Now it goes back to, friendly and stuff. All right, fine. But where they hand out the tournaments to be played, the situation and money changing hands. And if we go back to the previous regime of leaders at FIFA, the corruption there became very publicly obvious, and they quickly found themselves out of a job. So it's between I among governing bodies of sports organizations that we are most frequently aware of, I think FIFA probably tops the list.
Oh,
I don't know how much further behind, like, say, the IOC is, and maybe some of these continental soccer federations are bad too. Like, we're talking UEFA, CONCACAF, all across the world. I'm just not as familiar with them. Like, FIFA is the world stage. It's the entire globe's governing body for the sport, and it's just so obvious. They don't even really try to hide it.
Seriously.
But between the Qatar World Cup and then now they're just going back to Saudi Arabia in another 2 events, it's like, what? Were there no lessons learned about? It's like, okay, well, guess who paid the most? You don't have to look very far. It's written right on the headliner, on the banner of who's going to be the host nation.
Exactly. If you get a chance, I highly recommend FIFA Uncovered on Netflix. And it dives right in, no holds bar. When you got the FBI raiding your headquarters, ouch. Great stuff there from Chris Branch out of The Athletic. Good to chat with him as we get set for the beginning of the quarterfinals. France and Morocco. Morocco is without its top sniper, and we'll see how much of an issue that is. Saibari, he's out in the quarterfinal today. All right, we cruise along here on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365. More of the chat. Text us 1-833 401-1440. We want to hear from you. Of course, Elks in action and some Riverhawks discussion. They'll be back in action today after a big win over Nanaimo. The Jays actually won a game again. They've got a back-to-back winning situation, a chance to make it a streak. Vladdy actually hit a home run. Lots to chew on and discuss here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself, signed and everything. You can't just wear it. I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think expressions and images. Your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Hi, thanks for calling Uline.
Wait, did the phone even ring?
Nope.
Okay, so you answered before the ring, but now you're going to put me on hold, right?
We don't do that here. We're real people answering the phone, ready to help with your order when you are.
Uline has thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline, we warehouse for you.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$7:45 on a Thursday in Edmonton. Good morning. It's the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick in studio. Hop into the text line, 1-833-401-1440. Mark Spector coming up in about 14 minutes for On the Mark. Looking forward to catching up with Spec. I laughed when I saw this text came in from Lance, and I have to read it to you guys. Lance says, Brandon, and I'll extend it to Fenny. What's your opinion on people who take ball hockey too seriously? Now, this is not an inside joke, but it goes back with me.
You a hardcore ball hockey guy?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
My brother is a big ball hockey player. My youngest brother, Paul, he continues to play ball hockey despite his bad back, as he claims. And he's gone to like nationals and this and that. His team's pretty good, and he's a competitive ball hockey player, and I think it's great. But I like to describe ball hockey as organized cardio.
It's not inaccurate, at least in my opinion. I haven't played ball hockey. We had a campus rec team when I went to the U of A, so we did it as the same as we play ice hockey and flag football and everything else. I will say, even going back to like junior and senior high, or high school, excuse me, when you're playing in gym class, it was like growing up in Canada, it's everyone's favorite thing to do in gym is you bust the sticks out and you go nuts on the hardwood. I always had these illusions of wanting to be a goalie in hockey, so I would take that up in the form of ball hockey or floor hockey. I played goalie every single time, and at no small reason, because I hated getting cracked in the shins by other people's sticks and things. So I'd rather just wear and we didn't even wear helmets as goalies a lot of the time, especially in junior high. So I'd take these hard rubber balls right off the cheeks and in the eye sides. I'd rather do that than taking the sticks off the shins.
The shin pain is real.
And so then you fast forward to playing at campus rec as we're in our adult years. We'd go up against teams that they were hardcore, man. They had their shit, like their soccer shin pads on, all this stuff, and we're just like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, I'm not going to be as concerned about getting a little more aggressive with the stick work. Whereas it's almost like the rugby versus football thing. People are much more conscious about how they tackle in rugby.
Yes.
Because you don't have the benefit of helmets on to protect you. All of a sudden you put protection on, people are a little more reckless. Just my 2 cents on it. But I do like ball hockey. I haven't played in a long time.
Any rec sport like that, if you're taking it too seriously, what are we doing here? However, there is a caveat. If you were a team that does not take it seriously and you are playing a team that is taking it very seriously, the floodgates are open. You can do whatever you want.
I like that.
So that's how I cracked a rib and then later broke it, was slow pitch this year. They were taking it seriously, so I was like, all right, looks like I'm sliding for bases.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was a championship game, though. It wasn't like it was just a regular whatever. It was a tournament, but it's still not a good excuse, and I'm disgusted with myself every time it happens. But I would do it again. If you're going to take it seriously, I'm going to take it seriously.
And that's fair. I mean, the competitive juices flow, right?
I like to win.
I like to win, too, although I'm not as competitive as I once was. But, Lance, thank you. That's funny. I laughed when I saw your text because it goes back because I would always kind of crack on ball hockey. Now, don't get me wrong, for those of you that are going like, why is this guy such a jerk towards ball hockey, that maybe don't know the background. I think ball hockey is super fun. I thought street hockey I played every day till I was probably 15 years old. Rain or shine.
You light it up out there?
Winter, yeah. I loved street hockey. That was the best. After school, on weekends, you get the big games organized, couple of nets, or sometimes you just call over a neighbor and bring them over to the driveway and just play like a 2-on-2 or 1-on-1 with somebody playing in net. I like playing in net too, Brandon, in street hockey. But when my brother was telling me how his team, when he was just like getting going in the organized competitive ball hockey environment, I remember looking at him like, what are you doing? What is this? And so it's kind of snowballed into more of a thing, and people like to make me out as some kind of bad guy in the ball hockey.
You're the ball hockey hater.
Yeah,
right?
and really,
you're
it's
the
just,
antichrist of the ball hockey community.
evidently. But to me, it's just I think it's great exercise, and it's good to be on a team. We like to
It's something to
see
do,
our
man.
friends.
Everybody needs a hobby.
Yeah.
And I think as long as you keep it tempered, then go nuts.
But it's the ones who take it over the line. And unfortunately, looking on social media, doom scrolling, as they say, over the weekend, there was like a fight that broke out, not on the floor in the game, but like in the stands with parents of kids that were playing ball hockey. I don't know which soccer center it happened at, but it was here.
You're talking here in the city.
Yeah.
I think I might have seen that same video.
It's disappointing because, guys, this is glorified street hockey we're talking about. And I know there's like tournaments and you can win money and teams take it serious. You could travel, international events that happen. I think, Team Canada is pretty good. And I know we have a lot of great ball hockey teams in Edmonton, but
well, how about
it's a recreational activity?
Sports 1440's own co-host on the Jason Gregor Show, Terry Ryan. He's a several-time over national champion.
That's great.
At the men's level.
That's wonderful, but I don't.
And I bet that's pretty serious.
I'm sure, but I don't hold it in the same light as his accomplishments on the ice. And
what about roller hockey compared to like ball hockey?
Roller hockey, I played one summer of, and I thought it was super fun. The adjustment to not being able to stop like the same as hockey, even though your mind is like
it's a hard thing to if you're a regular hockey, like ice hockey player, I think the transition would be very difficult.
Yeah, you got to kind of
because you expect things to happen when you're like gliding around that you can do on ice, and you absolutely cannot.
True.
Like the stopping, turning on like basically on a dime.
Yep.
If you're a really good roller hockey player, I give you all the credit because it looks hard as hell.
It has a different feel to it, and the puck touches are a little bit different. And there's some guys that they understand the flow of the game, and they can just fly too. So it was fun. I'm glad I did it and experienced roller hockey. But I like how Lance texted that in, because I know there's a bunch of texts that have come in, and I'll read a bunch of them too because we have some time. But hey, I'm not going to knock you for playing ball hockey, but if you start telling me how intense it is and how serious it is, I'm going to have to walk away from that conversation. Say thanks, but no thanks. I can't buy a lick of anything you're saying right now. To me, it's glorified street hockey, which I love. I used to play an NHL breakout and then play on. Remember they'd have those street hockey tournaments? Those were so much fun. So much fun. Okay, let's start with the Ontario Mums. Good to hear from Ontario Mums. He texts in. Fun fact, in junior high floor hockey, I accidentally high-sticked the kid in the side of the head and corrected his lazy eye. Are you lying? Well done. Delta Valley Jeff says, ball hockey is to actual hockey as flag football is to actual football. They're places for casual weekend grinders to feel like they're actually athletes. I think there's legit athletes in ball hockey, but I understand where Delta Valley Jeff is coming from. Greater Man J Texan says, we love ball hockey in middle school. I removed my friend's 2 front teeth on a backswing for a slap shot goal. The school canceled the hockey ball league the next day. Oh, Greater Man Jeff, that sucks.
Yeah, I took it would have been grade 8, I think. Playing net, no helmets, like for the goalies.
Yeah.
Took a stick, sliced over like right underneath my eyebrow.
Oh,
like missed my eye by less than an inch. And it was like 12 stitches underneath my eye. Like there was so much blood.
That's scary.
It's crazy.
Legit.
You go to the hospital, you get it stitched up, no problem. Goalies had to wear helmets after that. It was a new rule that got put in place.
Safety first.
They call me Pioneer. I'm right up there with Jacques Plante.
All right, Jacques. Aaron,
now, did I want to wear helmets moving forward? No. So I guess I'm like the opposite of Jacques Plante. I was one of the crotchety old guys that said, look at those losers. Look at those wussies.
You're Gump
wearing
Worsley.
their helmets playing floor hockey.
Yeah. You're Glenn Hall and Gump Worsley. Ball hockey version. Aaron, Texas, says, boys, we had a team of teenagers taunt a group of guys in their 50s. It was 40-0, and one kid hit him with the Tyreek Hill. I should also mention this is Div 3 touch football. I'm learning more about like the flag football world because it's growing. It's more popular, especially with younger generations, and on the women's side as well. I know Lori Ekdahl does a lot of organizing leagues for kids and women out in Sherwood Park, and it's picking up in popularity. Yeah, and that's a good point to kind of correlate it to flag football. I agree with that, although I don't know the flag football world as well. Daryl says, I just cracked my Bauer 4000 in ball hockey. Bugger hit me from behind. Now I have whiplash and can't find a 4000 anymore. RIP. Ball hockey is so much fun, though. And that's, if you're getting joy out of it, having fun and exercising, that's good. Always a good thing, right? To stay fit. Keep fit and have fun, as Hal and Joanne used to say. The loss of the Bauer 4000, RIP to a phenomenal classic helmet. I have my old Edmonton Red Wings one sitting in my storage in my building, and I will never let that thing go. It is cracked as well. So, Daryl, I understand your pain. Bob texting in. Tommy back from team still doesn't like early morning shit. I like the early morning shit. This is good. What? Bob, what are we talking about?
Was there something that Bob thought you had said or done at any point this week to indicate he's like, I hate working?
No,
I haven't got that impression, Tom. I'll back you up. It seems that you're adapting very well and very quickly.
The 7 a.m., and I stand by it, is a game changer compared to a 6 o'clock start.
6, right?
Yeah.
And I've talked about this with Connor Halley, who continues his extensive vacation many times. There are so many benefits to working, and we have the luxury at this job where you kind of, pick one half of the day, the first half or second half. The rest of your day is so open. So if you're Connor Halley or Jason Gregor, and unless you're down at a morning skate or an Elks practice or something, the more you can go get a tea time at 6 o'clock, play, and you still get your whole day in front of you. Vice versa for you and I, Tom. We're done here. We can go catch a 1:30, 2 o'clock tea time and still be done in time to catch whatever games on TV that night. And same thing, with the exceptions, you got to head to the rink or do this or that. So it's kind of beneficial. I think I prefer the morning where I've still got my whole afternoon and evening ahead of me.
I like that point of view because whereas my old job, I wouldn't have to be up as early, but I'd have to be in early enough
that it still limits your.
It hampers your day. And then, oh, by the way, hey, there's an Oilers game tonight.
Late.
You're out late. Sometimes you're on location. So it was that split shift that would kill you. And you're right, Brandon. Like, we're done at 11. You chat with people in and around here from K97, CFCW, the crew here. We have fantastic people as I get to know them. Then you can go to lunch somewhere in the mall. You can catch up with buddies like you did last week. It's kind of nice. For me, I like getting down to the stadium, doing other things. I'm getting used to it. But at no point did I say, I'm like, I don't like the mornings. No, it's good. And that 7 a.m. is clutch. Okay, last text. A lot of text came in about the ball hockey thing. Well done, Lance, to kind of stir it up in an open segment. I'm going to go to Joe Daddy on this one. And Joe Daddy brings up a good point. Says, hey, Tommy, as somebody who has coached and played ball hockey for the last 4 or 5 years, I think the biggest difference is the affordability for kids to be able to play it. Ice hockey is just so overpriced, so the playing field is a lot more open for everybody to be able to play. And that's a great point, Joe Daddy. That's why I wanted to end the segment on that one. Well said. I'll always give kudos to that mindset, but it's the hardcores that, aren't the kids that are missing out because of affordability. It's like the guys who are in their 30s and that are arguing and fighting over ball hockey. That I'm like, guys, settle down. Relax. But for the kids and affordability compared to ice hockey, Joe Daddy, you hit it on the head. Great text. Thank you very much. All right. On the way, Mark Spector for On the Mark. This is the Gazzola Show presented by Bet365. And we're going to get to an update brought to you by All-Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunication, and street lighting. That is All-Star Construction. Here's Brandon.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Toronto Blue Jays take the rubber match in San Francisco yesterday afternoon, 10-0 the final. Dylan Cease, what a performance. Takes a no-hitter into the ninth inning, ends up going 8+, striking out 11 and just one hit for the victory. Kaz Okamoto with a grand slam, Vlad Guerrero Jr. getting back in the home run column, and George Springer tacking on a solo home run in the winning effort. Elsewhere around the majors, the Cubbies top Baltimore 9-7. Yankees blanked by Tampa Bay 3-0. Mets over the Royals 6-2. Boston over the White Sox 5-0. And in the nightcap, the Padres run it up on the D-backs 10-4. WC action from Remax Field last night. The Riverhawks get one back over Nanaimo. 3-2 the final, and some tough news for Blackhawks fans and the team as Connor Bedard, in an off-season injury, undergoing surgery on his shoulder, will sideline him for the next 4 months. Coming up in hour 2 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector and Edmonton Riverhawks first baseman Easton Andrews. I'm Brandon Douglas, Sticker Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Kickoff is coming July 9th. Elks, Red Blacks at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Salute to Service presented by YEG Plus. Help us celebrate the heroes and first responders who make our communities great. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z, promomarketing.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen as we roll out the Sports Talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to robertsonbodyworks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
The Tom Gazzola Show. Oiler Insider and Jersey Aficionado. Edmonton's sports leader. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
.804. It's the Tom Gazzola Show here on Sports 1440. How the heck are you? Join the conversation. Text us 1-833-401-1440. Of course, presenting sponsor, Bet365. Mark Spector, ready to rock for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC and its employee pricing. Is it really good? Yes, it is. This month, shop at Northgate and you pay what they pay all month at northgategm.com. Hello, Spec. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Oh, there we are. Doing okay, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Making it through the first week. Feels like the head's spinning a little bit, but it's slowing down. The boys are helping
remember
me out.
everybody's names here, like you know who your producers are, and
yeah, you got Dave and Brent. I don't know. I'm kidding.
And the lady at reception that lets you in. How about her? What's her name?
Don't know. Is there one? I'm kidding, Spec. I'm kidding. No, everybody here has been awesome, and Fenny and Brando are tremendous and great to work with. We have a lot of fun, And I feel like it's going to be a good thing. And plus, get to work with you, man. It's kind of nice, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been. I don't think we've ever been on the same team, have we?
No, not really. Like, I remember at times you would hop on the charter when you were on the broadcast and you would be traveling with the team. So, and I guess in like a quasi way that might have been, but we never really worked together, did we?
No, only on the same team when the game's over and we meet for beers on that great tab you used to have at the Canadian Brew House.
Yeah, that was a great tab.
I was on your team every night then, buddy.
Man, Spec really likes me. No, he just likes the free drinks. No, I'm just kidding. I like to share. I like to be a good team player, as Brandon was discussing earlier. When he goes to slow pitch, maybe he brings a couple extra cold ones with him and passes them out to everybody. I feel the same way. And you're right. That tab that we had there was robust. And sometimes we actually went over, which was hilarious and awesome. And we had some great times. So we get to do this together now, which I love and appreciate. And
awesome.
We can spread it out, talk about many things, because I know it's not always about hockey. But when we get into the hockey season, I'm sure you and I are going to have some great conversations. And I'm super looking forward to it, as you know. Okay, what has your attention? As I know you and I talked about it yesterday, things are getting quiet on the hockey front. Maybe we'll see a little bit of news, and we talked about it a bit. But what sports have your attention right now? We got football tonight. We got World Cup quarterfinal. What else is Spec keeping busy with?
Well, I mean, that's what's certainly the World Cup quarterfinals are like what the whole world's paying attention to. You know, it's funny. We were having a talk at Rogers with my boss the other day, and like a year ago, the Oilers were in the Stanley Cup final, and then the Blue Jays were in the World Series, two Canadian teams in the biggest things, and you know, Sportsnet was on fire, man. Never had more viewers in the history of the network. And then this year, it's the World Cup is taking everybody's attention, right? Two American teams in the Stanley Cup final. And here comes the World Cup. And you know, I know viewers out there, I mean, certainly myself as a viewer, I mean, I know who I work for, but I'm watching whatever game I want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I'm watching World Cup soccer as often as possible, because it's been, you know, sometimes these tournaments can be a little bit anticlimactic, but this one's been, it's been awesome all the way through. Like, how many really, really top flight exciting games with lots of goals have we seen, Tom?
A lot. Like, I think most games you were going to get some sort of entertainment value, not a lot of snoozers. And, you know, we had Chris Branch on from The Athletic earlier, and we were talking about the drama that's unfolded. And there's always controversy with FIFA. You know, we joke about that. And it's been awesome, man. Like, I'm excited about these quarterfinal matchups. This is going to be a great week of quote unquote football and soccer in our world. But yeah, I'm super pumped for it. And it's cool too to see Canada involved. It's nice to see the growth on the men's side finally as well. And Spec, I guess, like to like open it up a little bit, like our other athletes in other sports are really starting to like take a foothold on the international stage. You know, we got the men's soccer team, obviously, that got the attention here. Women's team has been pretty damn good for a while. I'm watching Wimbledon highlights right now here in studio. Felix Auger-Aliassime went 5.5 hours with Djokovic, who's obviously a legend. Bianca on the women's side, Fernandez as well. Like, our men's basketball team has superstars, the best player in the NBA right now on it. It's cool to see Canada and it not just be a hockey country. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's where it starts for me. It's got to be other sports than hockey, because honestly, out there, folks, hockey it's the smallest field.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's 7 good countries in hockey, and then there's another 4 that are okay. Like I've always was told, you know, the most competitive sports in the world are boxing and track and field, because they're the cheapest to play, right? A kid in Africa can afford to run, you know, can find a pair of shoes and be in track and field. Boxing, if you watch the Olympics, like boxers come from everywhere, you know. So look at Canada's history. When there's a new women's sport, because we're an advanced country and our young girls get a chance to play tons of sports, you know, we put our daughters in every sport. There's other countries where they don't, where if you're a daughter, you don't get to play sports. So when women's soccer fired up, we were one of the best in the world right away, and we've remained that. Obviously, we're great in hockey. When a new sport comes along, we're pretty good at women's sevens in rugby.
Yep.
But what really tells your standing is when you're either really competitive in the traditional sports that everyone else does, or when you get there on the men's side, like men's soccer. You get there, you get more competitive in men's soccer, men's basketball. They play all over the world. So we are becoming a much deeper, better sports country. Wimbledon's been going on forever on both sides. Tennis is a sport that's widely played. It's not, I don't know, like there's some like figure skating, rich kids figure skate, right? No one ever figure skated out of the ghetto, or figure skated off the island, right?
Yeah. I never would have made that correlation, but good point. I guess I don't think about figure skating as much as I should, but that's true. Now, kind of further to that, yesterday, Cam Tate on Cam and Eggs talked about the road to Russia returning to the Olympics and the IOC kind of loosening things up. And I know that in the hockey world internationally, there is an appetite. It seems like people aren't hiding it as much to have Russia back in the international tournaments. Just wondering how you feel about that at this point in time with everything that's kind of gone on with Russia and especially their athletes. I said it yesterday. It's not like the athletes don't dope and haven't been busted for doping and being the most egregious at it, because there's a great documentary on Netflix, Icarus. If you haven't seen it, came out a decade ago, but it had, was it Grigory Rodchenko? I think his name. I might be getting the last name wrong, but he was the mastermind behind how Russia doped at the Olympics. Where do you stand on this?
History is undeniable. Like, first of all, lots of countries cheat. We had Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
American track and field and have cheated for years and years and years for sure. But no one's cheated at the scale that the Eastern Bloc, which was led by Russia, cheated. Like, they invented steroids back in the 60s and 70s. The East German swim team in Montreal in 1976. All of those have Russian roots, right? So that's like, people say the argument here, Tom, is why do we punish a Russian athlete for something the government's doing, bombing Ukraine?
Right.
But Russian sports culture, it's government run and has been forever. It's so ingrained in Putin's identity that my winning athletes means my culture and my government and my society is successful. And it works in Russia. We're great Russians because we win gold medals. So we got to win gold medals. Well, let's make sure we win them by doping our athletes to the teeth. Right? I've covered Olympic Games. Everyone knows what happened in Sochi. Like, it was an absolute mess with Russian drug cheats. The fact that the National Hockey League to date has caught about, I don't know what the number is anymore, maybe it's like 7 people for PEDs, and not one of them's been a Russian. Like, Russians get nailed in every sport in the world in doping. And the NHL employs like 25 to 30 Russians every single year. Maybe it was more this year, but usually it's around that number. And somehow every year we get the cleanest, most honest Russian guys in the whole world. The only place they don't cheat is the NHL, Tom. We get the nice guys.
Oh, right?
Yeah. But why do guys cheat? Like, I know I'm going on a rant here, but why do we cheat? They cheat because there's money to be made. Like, when I see an Olympic weightlifter cheating, how much money can a weightlifter make? Like, there's no money in the game. They get a gold medal. They win a few rubles here and there, whatever. But when you can get a $10 million NHL contract, now that's worth cheating for. So the fact the NHL has never caught a Russian is absolutely ridiculous. Short answer, they're bombing Ukraine. They cheat like SOBs everywhere they've ever been. I don't care if I ever see a team Russia and a Russian flag fly over another event. I never need to see Russia play again until they clean their act up, which will be never.
I like it. Spicy Speck. I like Spicy Speck a lot. Well said, sir. Yeah, I mean, they've got a bad track record. And It's Grigory Rodchenkov. I said Rodchenko. I'll correct myself there.
That's
Fantastic
a great documentary. It really lets you inside, right?
Oh yeah, and it starts out about a guy trying to compete in an amateur tour on cycling, and he's like, "I'm going to willfully dope, see how much it improves my performance and my result." And it turns into this whole other thing where he's trying to save this guy from being essentially killed by the government in Russia.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a chance. I got into track and field in the 2001 World Championships that were in Edmonton.
Right.
I got assigned. I was basically 2 years. I was a track and field writer, and part of it was cool. Like, it was a whole new world, man. I'm a hockey, football, baseball guy. I ended up spending 2 years around track people, and one of the things I learned, and a lot of it was through a very wise track coach in Calgary by the name of Les Gramantic. I learned a lot about doping. You know, why people dope, how people dope, what people dope with. And, and I'll finish on this. Like, when you looked at the Lance Armstrong scenario, I mean, I remember watching that go through. Here's a guy, every guy in that peloton is doping, right? So they're all doping in the peloton. Now, here's a guy coming off of cancer, back in the peloton. He's older than everybody else. He's had cancer. He's on recovery, but he's not doping and he's winning, right? I'm not doping, but I'm beating all the guys who are doping. Well, that was the most ridiculous thing that the American media and people bought into. It was never going to be true. It was a total fairy tale. And in the end, Lance Armstrong was doping worse than any of them. So people dope for a reason. It makes you better, faster, stronger. So if you're competing against a bunch of other guys who are doping and you're not, you don't win, or they wouldn't dope, right?
We bit everybody, I think, in the sports world bit hook, line, and sinker on Armstrong and the incredible story that it was. And sadly, it was all for naught, like you said. It's too bad. I don't know if I told you about this documentary as well. Maybe I did. I feel like I've talked about it a few times. It's called Screwball on Netflix. And it's about Balco and like the doping in baseball. And they have like kids that are like between 7 to 10 who are the actors, and they recreate scenes of like what happened back in the day when they have these flashbacks. It is hilarious, and it's very telling at the same time. I highly recommend that one.
Well, I mean, 2001 was Marion Jones's heyday. Remember Marion Jones? She was stronger and faster than every other woman in the world. And she wasn't bigger. She wasn't a big woman, but she was stronger and faster. And everybody in the track world that I was dealing with said she shouldn't be stronger and faster than everybody. And everybody on the outside who loved this poor kid out of LA that made her way in the track world. And now she was a great American, and the flag was flying, Tommy. And here was a Marion Jones. And it turned out she was totally dirty the whole way. So
I think she went to jail.
Sorry?
I think she went to jail, Spec.
Yeah. She was in with all the Balcos, and the book as well. I forget the name of the book that the San Francisco Chronicle writers wrote, the guys that covered Barry Bonds. Killer great book on the whole Balco scene. Just a real investigative, nerdy journalism, tell you everything that happened in that Balco scene. It was really fascinating.
Oh man, it's interesting. I remember Marion Jones. I would go to those 2001 track and field championships. I think it was 10 days. I remember hopping on like a city bus from Londonderry Mall. I was 15 years old, and I get like a easy, cheap ticket on my own money and just go watch and to take in like
a great event.
Yeah, and I remember she was the darling of that event. I think she lost to the Ukrainian or the Russian.
She lost to a woman, Ukrainian woman named Block. Last name was Block, who was also steroided to the gills, as it turned out.
That was the heyday, man. And yeah, Jones came off the awesome Sydney Olympics, but yeah, touche. Okay, let's bring it home with a little hockey talk. I'm curious about this because I saw, when the Mammoth matched the Barrett Hayton offer sheet from New Jersey. I think there was an article out there somewhere or a discussion about, why do players have to go to the arbitration hearing? And listen, I don't care about the ins and outs of that, but when they do, and in your experiences over decades of covering the NHL, because this isn't a new thing in the National Hockey League, when a player goes to arbitration, Spec, and they have to like battle essentially in court over why they deserve X amount of dollars, but they have the franchise that they play for saying, no, you don't deserve that. Like, how does it affect, in your opinion, the dynamic between the player and that franchise?
Well, first thing I would say, some players want to be at that hearing, and I think that's a bad idea. I think you hire your agent for a reason. And if I was a player, I would send my agent to the hearing, and he's the guy that does all the research and stuff anyway. I'm not sure what the player, I don't want to know the case my team is using against me, because they are. They're pulling out every negative thing they can, every negative analytic now, every bad stat, and they're using it against you. And the minute the hearing's over and you sign with them for whatever the number turns out to be, now we're teammates again, and we love you. Oh, we really support your game. You're a great player. So it's kind of like going to court. It is going to court in its own way. It's arbitration. It's sometimes you don't need to know how they made the hot dog, Tommy. If I'm the athlete, just tell me who won and what I'm getting paid, and I'll see you at camp.
Yep. Well, Cheese Whiz is apparently gray before they put in the food coloring, and I love Cheese Whiz.
Well, that's good to know.
That's my parents. There's always a thing of Cheese Whiz in the fridge. And I love Cheese Whiz.
It lasts like 14 years somehow.
And you never think about it. And if you do, it'll mess with your head. This was a great segment, Spec. Love doing it with you. And I know you're away tomorrow, so I look forward to catching up with you next week.
All right, sounds good, Tommy.
There you go. On the mark with Mark Spector, powered by Northgate. This truck's for you. We're going to take a quick breather. When we return, lots to get to. The text line's buzzing nicely. I see the boy at Fenny's laughing over there. Maybe inside joke, maybe something he wants to discuss. I can't see Brandon. I'm discussing that. I'm telling people. How's it going?
I'm not tall enough, Tom.
Well,
neither of us are. You're not tall enough to come over the monitors, and I'm not tall enough to be above the monitors.
And I could put the seat up higher too. But I like having like the camera at eye level.
Right.
And so I feel like I'm rude. I told you this yesterday. I'm like, I feel like I'm being rude to you because I'm trying to talk to you and I can't look at you. I can see Fenny. And that's,
to me, that's another thing that we'll slowly iron out as we continue moving forward. And I don't recommend putting the seat up any higher. That's what I do when I sit over there. Because I like to be up and see, it's just kind of how I like to sit. And then Low Tide will come in here and he'll sit in it next and be like, oh, I wonder who was sitting in this chair before. Stubby legs Douglas, most likely. And he'll just take a shot at my height, which, hey, nothing I can do about it. I'm short. Well, it is what it is.
To each their own. But anyway, we're figuring it out. We're getting our groove together here, as I've been saying. We're finding our voice even. But we'll get to a bunch of texts that have come in. And we've got a nice open segment coming up next before we get to Easton Andrews from the Riverhawks at 8:40. Who is on his way to the All-Star game. And it'll be great to catch up with him. More Gazzola Show presented by Bet365 right after this.
Hurry in for hot summer savings at Wolf GMC Buick. Take advantage of 0% purchase financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 pickups. 0% purchase financing for 36 months on select new 2026 Sierra 2500 Denali and Denali Ultimate models. Plus, huge cash savings on GMC Sierra heavy-duty trucks. And ask about the $1,000 truck trade-in bonus and low-rate lease offers. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Summer weekends in Alberta mean one thing: tournament season.
I brought the folding chairs. I brought the sunscreen. I brought the umbrella, just in case.
But who brought the snacks to get through a doubleheader?
I got Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the ultimate sideline fuel. Whether you're cheering on the kids or watching the pros, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
You may get up early, but more than likely, the team at GS Construction have already gotten up before you, grabbed a coffee, headed to the site, and started their day. So while Edmonton wakes up, GS crews are already underground, quietly keeping things moving, upgrading, and laying the new underground infrastructure for our growing city. If you're the kind of person who goes to sleep with their steel-toed boots on, GS Construction wants to hear from you. We're looking for a maintenance foreman as well as a building and yard attendant. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. for just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton sports fans, stay informed
with Sports 1440. Stream us.
Listen to us on the AM dial.
However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
It's Midnight Cinderella.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Great tune, says Norman at Combine. Good morning, Norm. This is the Tom Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365. Hope you're doing good out there on a nice Thursday. Hope the drizzle is settling down. It's supposed to be nice for the football game tonight. 7 p.m. kickoff, Elks and Red Blacks. You can catch the game on TSN. Yours truly will be patrolling the sidelines. Looking forward to not getting soaked in rain today. Knock on wood. You got Brandon Douglas and Josh Fenwick with me here in studio. Of course, we want to hear from you. 1-833-401-1440. Lots of great texts coming in today. Spec talking about like covering international track and field and all that. And we're talking about some books and we're talking about documentaries. And a lot of texts came in regard to that. This one, I'm going to read a few of them because I think I like the text line, boys. I don't know how much KK hit the text line, but I like it. I like it too. So I always appreciate the contributions from our listeners and viewers too over on the YouTube side if you're catching us on YouTube. This one comes in and says, hey, fellas, The Secret Race by Tyler Hamilton is another great read on doping in the pro peloton. He was a teammate with Lance Armstrong during the heyday of doping. The stories in there are crazy. Pardon me. Yeah, there's it's amazing, like the seedy underbelly of the sports world that exists. And we don't see it or hear from it all the time. But when you do, you think to yourself, holy crap, what is going on? Coach Kev, first time text, says, day one listener, great take on the Russians' return to sport from Spec today and Cam yesterday. Yeah, that was Cam and Eggs with Cam Tate. The games are a privilege, and they're going to be coming back doped to the gills for 2028. Yeah, and Russia and the road for them to come back to the Olympics in 2028. If you didn't catch that, IOC kind of opening the door to it. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of attention on it from the international media. We'll see how receptive other nations are, other athletes are to the Russian athletes, and the Russian flag likely flying at the Olympics in LA. So fascinating, disappointing, a lot of opinions on it, and it's getting people riled up for sure. Money Mo wanted us to talk about Roger Clemens and Mark McGuire. Yes, they doped. No denying. How about Jose Canseco? He literally wrote a book called Juiced, talking about he and Mark McGuire doping and shooting each other up with steroids in the butt at Oakland Coliseum. Great book. There was a follow-up, too. It wasn't as good as Juiced, but yes, Money Mo, I see you, buddy. There's a lot of people that have doped. Dr. Richard says, I'm not a doctor, but I work in healthcare for a decade. The name comes from an old Vietnam medical drama called China Beach. Okay. I did not know that. The Real Duke, is that a shot at you, Brandon? I'm just kidding. Says the Bonds book is called Game of Shadows. That's the one I think Spec was talking about. And I'm not like calling you Duke that often either. And you're like, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. No, the real that goes back to like he's like a day one guy. We're very close to it, and I think he actually lives over near Carius in the esteemed Laurier Heights area. So I think he's familiar with Kev in the neighborhood and whatnot. I think is how it started, and so he just said, "No, I'm the Duke. He's the real Duke,"
which I'm assuming you're okay with.
Yeah, he can be the real Duke.
Maybe his name's actually Duke,
like Duke Ellington,
perhaps.
How many other Dukes are there? And as a name, not as a title.
Duke is a boss name, I think.
I mean, it's a great name for like a dog.
Yeah. I knew a dog named Duke. Great dog.
Duke Ellis, American baseball player.
Yeah.
Yeah, Duke Ellington. I mean, his singer's unreal.
Bench, laughing, texting in, saying, quote of the week, figure skaters don't come from the ghetto. No, they don't.
Weird how that conversation ended up there.
I know. But we're talking about affordability. Remember, we're talking ball hockey and other sports.
Yeah,
soccer,
it was kind of, those ended
boxing.
up tying together pretty well.
Yeah. So we're tying it together. We're bookending it. I just found that funny. That was a funny quote from Spec. And man. Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, I highly, highly recommend Screwball. And sheer entertainment value. The kids that act out the flashback scenes are hilarious. There's previews you can watch on YouTube, but the information and the deep dive into the Balco era steroids. A-Rod is a prominent player in that documentary, obviously. And it's funny, it's entertaining, and then you learn at the end of the day about how brash the doping was in baseball. I think they talked about Manny Ramirez and how careless he was. A buddy of mine was in the Cubs organization after being drafted by them. And he was talking about one of the Latino players coming back. Oh, who is it? He's in the bigs now. I don't want to say who it is, but all the guys on the team, and he's like most guys were doing something to enhance their performance, but this guy came back. He was scrawny in his rookie year of like low A ball, and he came back the next year to training camp in the spring, and he was just jacked. And they're kind of chastising each other in the locker room, in the clubhouse, and saying, "Oh, did you juice this offseason?" "No, papi. No juice was the response that they got. But as my buddy put it, he's like, yeah, if you weren't cheating, you weren't trying, and everybody was doing it. Dr. Will in Gibbons, are you a real doctor? Texting in. He is? Okay, I like this. I'm getting to know everybody. It says Tanya Harding was from a bit of the ghetto. Yes. I, Tanya, great film. You want to talk about a great movie? Margot Robbie, great performance. And obviously the drama that ensued there. She made her own outfits. Her mom was crazy. And she dealt with a lot to get to where she did as an Olympic athlete. I think she was a contender for a few years as well. But obviously with the whole Nancy Kerrigan thing, like that was just insane. Just insane. This text from David says, Mark's naive if he thinks some Canadian American pro hockey players do not take performance-enhancing drugs and conceal it well to secure lucrative contracts. He exposes prejudice when he says the NHL somehow hasn't caught any players of Russian heritage in their program. Well, they haven't, David. Like, have you seen a Russian player caught for doping in the NHL? I know Brian Berard got busted. I know Sean Horkoff got busted. Who was a more recent guy? There's two Canadian guys. Who else was caught busted for PEDs and using? There was somebody recently. So,
most recent one, February, Caleb Jones.
20
games suspended for the performing enhancing substance program violation.
So, David.
Aaron Ekblad last year, remember? That
Aaron
was a big
Ekblad,
one.
yeah. Jose Theodore says, Al. Thank you, Jorge and Parkboy Ash also, pointing out Ekblad. So
like when you look at both Ekblad and Jones as just the two most recent examples, they were each suspended 20 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. It's a quarter of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't believe we are privy to the exact details of these cases, right? It's just like they get the random testing, they violated it, boom, you're slapped with suspension. If it was like, what's the level? Like, is there different suspensions for level of severity? Like what substance you're taking? Like if you're just straight up taking the juice, the Russian gas, whatever, does that come with a year suspension when it's found in your system, as opposed to like Ekblad taking a substance to recover from an injury without checking with his team personnel first?
Right. I don't think.
And then in Jones's one, it says he attributed to an exosome therapy he received for a documented injury.
Okay.
Which I think is the most common thing we see now, is that guys say it's to help them recover.
Yeah.
And get back to playing shape, form, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. They'll have a powder that has an element to it that's actually like.
That then crosses the list. And listen, this is not unique to hockey or anywhere else where the guys get caught and they say they have whatever is their excuse saying, oh, well, I didn't know. And they just plead ignorance. And they say, oh, well, the team doctor gave it to me, so it's their fault, not mine. Right? There's a million different excuses.
Sure.
But the reality is the reality. They're taking it. They're not supposed to be.
Yep. And
they get slapped with the suspension. And obviously it's usually without pay. So for a quarter of a season, that's usually a pretty good chunk of change for these guys.
Yes, it is. And just that was David that had texted in. It's more than just certain athletes from certain nations, but the Russians have been busted the most and have the worst, most notorious reputation when it comes to doping. But there are others who are guilty of it, including Canadian hockey players. There we go. All right, we're going to talk a little baseball coming up next. We got Easton Andrews, first baseman for the Edmonton Riverhawks. He is an all-star this season. The all-star game going July 14th and 15th in Victoria. He is among 4 Riverhawks making their way to the big game next week. He joins us right here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu.
The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. Wait.
I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me. Whew, what a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit, no credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Everything is going to be okay. If you're feeling the weight of too much debt, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or a consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal will eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we've got your back.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
The big hits. The big kicks. Catch all the action at Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge. Never a bad seat in a house with tons of big screens. And Selly's menu. Something for everyone. Plus game day food and drink features. So bring your friends, cheer loud and proud, and join the fun at Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Every day is game day at Century Casino.
The Tom Gazzola Show. All gas, no brakes. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Oh, yeah. He is an all-star. He is our next guest. He is Easton Andrews from the Edmonton Riverhawks, first baseman, right here on the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Great to bring him in. I know he's got some commitments, so we'll get into it right away with Easton. Easton, thanks to you for coming on the program. Thanks to the Riverhawks for allowing us to talk to you today. We appreciate it. I know you're coming off a big win yesterday against Nanaimo, but Brandon teed up the song. You're an all-star among 3 other teammates. Shuryu Sato, Carter Fink, David Shepard. You guys are going to Victoria next week for the West Coast League All-Star Game. How does it feel, man, to be an all-star in short season college ball up here in Canada?
It's pretty cool. We got a bunch of really good ball players. We got a bunch of guys that are putting in a lot of work, so it's just cool to get recognized in a league like this.
How has it been up here? Because I know I was watching, you did a thing with our social media crew and Mackenzie and, you know, your familiarity with Canada coming up here. I think you said you went to the East Coast at one point. What's the experience been like for you so far? Because you're having a pretty decent season on the field.
Yeah, you know, it's been really cool. I think one of the best parts about it's just been the fans. The fans have been awesome. You come out, we've had games that are in the rain, and you got 6,000 people up there waiting for you, cheering you on. So just that experience of it is second to none. It's hard to find that anywhere.
For a guy like yourself, when you come up here, trying to stay in game shape and keep the game sharp, what has that been like, and how has this league helped you do that? Because I know it's popular. You talk about the fans, and when people go down to the ballpark, and it's an experience. But for you guys, you're putting in the work to continue to develop your game and to push on to the next level and become pros.
Yeah, you know, I think it's just it's real important for us to just kind of stay disciplined and stay ready. It's a long season after a long season, so making sure that we're doing the work pre-game, right? So you know, it doesn't just start for us at 7:00 when it's first pitch. It starts for us in the mornings. You know, we got to go in there and get our lifts in, get our treatment done, make sure we're staying sharp, you know, in the cages and doing all the right things to make sure that we continue to develop, but also make sure that we're ready to go whenever it's time to play ball at night.
It looks like you guys have a ton of fun. And I know it seems like when you look at the Riverhawks dugout, when you're at Remax Field, there's like 80 guys on the team. And I know they're trying to mix in as many guys as possible. You guys are dancing around, cheering each other on after a hit and everything like that. When you guys are together for such a small period of time, coming from all over the place, how do you make sure everybody gets along and becoming a good group like it seems the Riverhawks have?
You know, I don't know if there's a specific formula for it. I think that we've been very lucky. You know, Ryan, Greg, Jake Lantherman, they put together a really good group. It's a bunch of high character guys that are truly wanting to win, which is really special whenever you get to summer ball. A lot of summer ball teams, the kids are only worried about getting their reps and getting their stats and doing what's best for them. But just as a group, I feel like we've really been able to buy into the win first culture. And yes, we're trying to get better. Yes, we're trying to develop, but we're also here to win. That's why we're here. So I think that it's been really good. We get new guys in, and it's just they're able to hop right in that we're trying to win, so come on, get on board.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun when you guys do make it happen, especially at home. It's always part of the experience. I know I was watching the game yesterday on YouTube. How often do you catch yourself watching what's going on the scoreboard in stadium when you're trying to focus on an upcoming at-bat or getting back into the field? Because we were joking about Donovan, who's your in-game host most games, and how funny he is. And I know there was like a cake eating contest last night, a couples thing. Like, how do you stay focused on the game when you've got all that stuff happening?
You know, it's the best way to stay focused, I feel like, is to just not look at the video board. But no, I definitely have to catch myself sometimes. We'll be done warming up in between innings and just standing there waiting, you know, to get going. Just gotta, I like to look around, take it in whenever I can, because it is a super unique experience. So yeah, I think the best way for me is just to not even look, because if I look once, I'll probably get distracted and keep watching what's happening.
Have you had a couple of moments where you're like, what the hell is going on right now? I'm supposed to be playing ball.
Yes, definitely. There's some moments where I'm like looking up and it's like, oh wow, that's crazy. But it's always funny. It always just catches me off guard because I'm, locked in, getting ready for whatever's coming next. And you look up and they're shoving cake in people's faces like they were last night.
I love it. Easton Andrews joining us now from the Riverhawks. He's on his way to the West Coast League All-Star game next week in Victoria. Another game against Nanaimo coming up today, and then you got the Marion Berries series coming up. As you guys progress through the season, how is the team's overall game coming together, in your opinion?
I think we're playing some of our best ball, right? The last homestand, we did a really good job. I think we swept the homestand, which was huge for us, kind of helped get us right back on track, get us back to that 500, game above 500 spot. We're going into the back half, and I think we're starting to peak at the right time. The defense is coming together. We're starting to get to know each other. The arms are doing a fantastic job for us. They're filling up the strike zone, making pitches, really giving the hitters a chance to get settled into games and score runs the hard way. So it's been really fun to see everyone come together and kind of put it together at the same time.
Hey, you're a Texas kid. You're up here in Canada playing ball in the summer. What are some little things that you missed from back home? And what are some of the pleasant surprises from your time up here?
Definitely some things that I missed from back home is the sunshine. Definitely miss the sunshine. I miss the Tex-Mex food. But no, up here the people have been really awesome. Everywhere you go, everyone seems to be in a good mood, smiling at you. So it's been a really pleasant experience up here for sure.
Hey, I lived in Oklahoma City for a little bit. The queso at like every restaurant is amazing, and it's just sitting there waiting for you. Yeah, I know the pain, man. I know the pain. Okay, tell me a little bit about your coach, Levi Moon. I know his dad very well. We come and watch Riverhawks games. I know Levi as well, but tell us your take on Levi Moon.
Oh, he's awesome. He's there. He's always good. He hits a great fungo. Really good coach. Kind of helps keep you on the plane, keep you even keel, and do the right things to kind of help make you a better ball player.
Awesome. I like that. He's a good man indeed. All right, you're going to the All-Star game. It's a bit of a showcase. Does that add any pressure to you, or how do you look at that opportunity next week?
I just think, definitely no pressure with it. It's an opportunity, right? They put people in that game that they think have done a good enough job and have earned a spot to be there. So I think it's just something that you're going to try to really take in and experience it all and just go in there and have fun whenever my name gets called and I get my event, just go in there and have as much fun as possible.
You know what, man? Go in there and crush it. Keep having an excellent season for the Riverhawks. You guys are super fun to go down and watch and, represent the city, make everybody proud. So appreciate the time. Congrats on the All-Star nod, Easton, and have a great rest of the week going into Victoria next week, pal.
Perfect. Thank you for the time.
That is Easton Andrews, first baseman for the Edmonton Riverhawks. Good Texas boy. I don't know if you guys have had authentic queso, but it's a game changer. And I know exactly what he's talking about. There's this stuff, by the way, if any of you might like it. It's called Texadelphia, and it's basically a Texas-style cheesesteak, Subway-type restaurant. I would go there daily after like a Oklahoma City Barons practice. It was right across the street. There was a ballpark there. It's called, what was it called? Bricktown, Texadelphia. Get the cherry, pepper, Philly cheesesteak with the queso and the salsa and the nachos. To die for, my friend. To die for. Anyways.
It sounds good, Tom.
Thank you, Brendan. It is delicious.
There's a lot going on in that title, but I'm intrigued.
Texadelphia? Look it up. But I highly recommend. The sunshine thing kind of hurt, didn't it?
Because, and you feel bad for him because we know that that's what most people that come here for the first time, and we've been really lucky, and I'm sure you've had a much more upfront opinion on it, Tom, with the last two Stanley Cup finals prior to this season being here into late June, and beat writers from Florida and across the NHL that are covering the finals that come here and say, oh my God, like I'm usually only in Edmonton in mid-January each year. It's like this place actually kind of rocks. Like the sun is out so late and all these things. And then you get Easton, his first summer here in Edmonton, and the weather has just been, well, let's just say not ideal. It hasn't been a standard Alberta summer here so far. It's been pretty wet. It's been pretty cloudy. I mean, we even had those couple late dumps of snow. I'm not sure if he would have been up here yet by that time. I kind of doubt it, but the remnants of it, I'm sure, were still lingering once he made his way. So I feel for him. Hopefully he can get a little bit of a better taste of what our city has to offer here into July and August.
That's a great point. And and I know we had the solstice June 20th, 21st, but when you've got the sun up still, getting close to 11 p.m., it's amazing. Now, counter that when you're in the deep of winter and the sun's up till like 4:37 p.m. It stinks. But in the summer, it's amazing. And unfortunately, like you said, it's been rainy, but maybe more sunny days ahead, more like the heat the other day I loved. It's like, oh yeah, this is summer. Great to have. Slurpy Sean says, was he calling in from space? It's just reception. It's all good. He was great. You know what I forgot to ask him? I wanted to ask him about this. He's a Texas kid. He's a Texas Rangers fan. If you didn't see his get to know Easton Andrews I think I saw it on our Facebook and our Instagram on the Sports 1440 pages. He talked about being a Texas Rangers fan. I was going to ask him if he was familiar with the Round Rock Express and Nolan Ryan, who, of course, guys, purchased the Edmonton Trappers and moved them out of what is now Remax Field. And I wanted to make that connection. I feel bad. I feel shame. Bad, Tom. You blew it. Second time today. No animosity there. They were for sale. The PCL wanted to get out of Canada, and it did so. It's too bad. Although the Riverhawks have been a fantastic product and have revived that area. The ballpark's hopping. It's been tremendous. And you're hearing kids from Texas. They've got Japanese kids playing on the team, Latino kids, American kids, Canadian kids from other parts of the country. And they're coming here. And what Cam Moon, Levi Moon's dad, and you would know Cam Moon as the play-by-play voice of the Oilers on the radio, tells me is the reputation that the Riverhawks and Edmonton are getting from players in college ball and how good the setup is here is starting to spread. And I love to hear that. And that helps with recruiting guys, making the team more competitive summer to summer. And it just feels like they've built a great vibe up. And I have to give credit to my old boss, Steve Hogel, who's been there, I think, since day one. Randy Gregg, obviously, that group. And it's just turned into this very positive thing. Because I don't know if you guys remember, they were talking about knocking that ballpark down 8 or 9 years ago and saying, we need to develop this area of the city along the river. What do we do? Do we need a ballpark? What team's going to play there? The Capitals had kind of left, and the Riverhawks has stepped in and made it tremendous, honestly. So it's good to see. All right. We got to take a quick breather. We got to get to a sports update with Brandon, brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand. High-quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with a Z. When we come back, it will be AJ Jakubic. In the 9 o'clock slot, I'm getting flashbacks to the end of 1260 because this is bizarre, Brandon. This is bizarre. But we're going to make good on this. Finally, 3 years and a month later, AJ Jakubic and myself at 9 a.m. on an AM sports radio show here on Sports 1440. Weird, and the universe works in mysterious ways, but it's going to happen in 3 minutes. Here's Brendan with the update.
The Sports 1440 update.
Toronto Blue Jays take the rubber match over the Giants yesterday afternoon from San Francisco. 10-0 the final. Dylan Cease with a stalwart performance on the bump, taking a no-hitter into the ninth inning. He ends up going 8+, giving up just one hit with 11 strikeouts in the victory. Offensively, Kaz Okamoto with a grand slam, Brad Guerrero Jr. and George Springer also tacking on home runs in the ninth inning. Elsewhere around the major leagues, the Cubbies beat the Orioles 9-7. Yankees blanked by Tampa Bay 3-0. The Red Sox get past the White Sox 5-0, and the Dodgers top the Rockies 4-3 in one of the nightcaps. WCL action from Remax Field last night. The Riverhawks top Nanaimo 3-2 to even that series at 1 game apiece. And from the NHL offseason, some bad news for the Blackhawks as Connor Bedard suffering an off-season workout injury. He's going to undergo surgery to his shoulder, expected return to play 4 months away. Coming up in hour 3 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll be joined by Ottawa Redblacks play-by-play man AJ Jakubic and our Thursday co-host, former NHL defenseman Lattis Schmid. I'm Brandon Douglas, Sticker Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
The Riverhawks are back, and the fun is too. Catch Italian Plumber video game night, Star Wars with a post-game fireworks show, and kids crash the park Sunday with a poster giveaway presented by Save On Foods. Bring the family. Kids tickets from $10 at GoHawks.ca.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit golfcartpeople.com.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Whatever the job, consider it done with the Lawnmower Hospital in Ego, the top-rated brand in cordless outdoor equipment. Their universal battery platform takes you from mower to trimmer into the mini bike with just one battery. They keep the party going with the Ego misting fan on those hot summer days, and then keep the party going with the Ego Bluetooth speaker at night. Check lawnmowerhosp.com now for stock and pricing.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
.902. Good morning. It is the Tom Gazzola Show here on Sports 1440, presented by Bet365, where not every game's an all-timer. Sometimes you get a dud. Thanks to their early payout, there's always a reason to watch. And while they can't make games exciting, they can help fans get excited. Bet365. Download the app and see what early payouts all about. Hope you're having a great day today. We've got a big game coming up at Commonwealth. The Red Blacks in town to take on the Elks. Red Blacks looking for their first victory of the season. The Elks looking to bounce back after a tough loss last Saturday in Kelowna to the BC Lions. And to discuss, we are going to bring in AJ Jakubic, who does the play-by-play for the Red Blacks. Obviously, very familiar with people and this city and the airwaves, obviously, too. And I was joking, AJ, because it's just over 3 years ago, almost 3 years and a month to the day when we were supposed to have you on in the 9 o'clock slot on the morning show. I was filling in and we were getting ready to talk Red Blacks and Sens, because I think that was right before Andlauer bought the Sens, and there was no show to come back to or station. And I believe my producer at the time got a call from you, and you're like, what's going on? Am I still coming on? And he had to let you know that we didn't have a station anymore. Welcome back. So good to finally, 3 years and a month later, do this with you.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. And of course, terrible news this week in Calgary and Vancouver and elsewhere across the country. It's crazy business. Hopefully, I'm a big believer in radio. I'm a big believer in new media as well, and podcasts. Like I don't think you can be stuck in just one world. But yeah, that was a pretty terrible day. It was the same day that we lost a couple of colleagues in our building as well. So. But I feel like with what you guys are doing, we seem to be on the rebound a little bit. I do have some hope for the industry. I think it's important. It's a hub for people, like especially on days where, big stuff happens. So also have to wish you congratulations for your new role and your new chair, replacing Kevin Carius, who I wish a happy retirement to as well. So well done to you, and great to be with you.
Thank you, AJ. And as you know, KK, a legend in Northern Alberta in the broadcast industry, definitely on the sports side, and big shoes to fill. I'm not here to reinvent the wheel. I don't even know how to work a wheel, to be honest with you. I'm just here to smile, be pretty, and carry a conversation and keep people entertained as they head to work. That's how I look at it, at least. So, hopefully it goes well. It feels like we're in a good spot. We've got a good crew here, and I appreciate the kind words, sir. Okay, let's get to business. I know it's a fresh start for the Ottawa Red Blacks. I thought the Ryan Dinwiddie get out of Toronto was very, very sharp and astute. And I like what Dinwiddie's done in his time as a head coach in the CFL, obviously with a couple of Grey Cup rings. And now he's got the GM role, and he's got some familiarity with his coaching staff. And we had talked to William Fields earlier in the week and how they work well together and all of that. But for this franchise, what do you think Dinwiddie will be able to do when he gets his hands all over it and makes it truly his own team?
Yeah, I also believe it was a really great hire by this organization, and just the track record that he has as a head coach, winning a couple of Grey Cups, the track record that he has as an offensive coordinator, where, he's wearing that hat as well here in Ottawa, regarded as kind of the premier mastermind offensively in the league. It hasn't been a great start. I mean, there's no mincing words when it comes to that. 0-4 out of the gate, 3 of those games at home. Really didn't look good for the first 2.5 games, and played a great second half in Montreal, but needed the lead, got the lead for the first time all year against Saskatchewan, and then kind of fell apart with, some key mistakes, including a punt return for a touchdown where the punter, Noah Getman, didn't look very good, where he could have made a tackle at the 55 and swing and a miss, and it wasn't even a good effort. So, yeah, there's a lot to work on here right now. And the reality is, I think Jake Maier has played okay, but they're basically losing the quarterback battle in most of these games, if not all of them right now. And so it doesn't mean they can't win games, and a lot of them with Jake Maier, as long as he plays, his best football and it's clean football. But they need better from all 3 phases. You need to play a 3-phase game where it's not perfect, but it's pretty clean if you're going to beat teams in that type of scenario. And right now, there's been too many penalties that have been, just poorly timed as well, and preventable ones too, like, offsides and that type of thing. Short yardage has been a disaster. They can't even get a yard on 3rd and 1 or whatever it might be. It's cost them 3 or 4 times already this year. Special teams has not been good enough. And the defense, I think they've been on the field too long, and it's really hurt them. And, I think part of the reason we're seeing a lot more scoring this year is just defenses are gassed a little bit, with the new play clock, and they're out on the field. And when they're out on the field for a long time, it comes fast and furious at them, and they seem to be gassed, especially late in games. So, which is great for the CFL and the product, but it's definitely leading to, a lot more yards and points early in this season. So, yeah, some things to fix up. There have been some positives the last couple of weeks, which I think is a good thing, but they got to find a way to get a win. Moral victories aren't going to cut it. Don't have to tell Edmonton fans about that. It's been a tough go over, most of the last decade for both of these franchises. Nice to see Edmonton off to a good start, but Ottawa desperately needs a win here.
Yeah, AJ, you touched about Jake Maier and the quarterbacks room when they made the move to get Drew Brown out of Ottawa. Maybe some friction there, or things weren't going as swimmingly as you would want, and then they bring in MBT. I guess, it goes to Ryan Dinwiddie's experience as a quarterback in the CFL, as well as a head coach and an offensive coordinator that you nip something in the bud pretty quickly. But to, get Drew Brown out and then bring MBT in, how conducive might that be to success? And when I saw it was MBT, I kind of rolled my eyes. I'm like, oh, of course, MBT is the guy that's coming back into the league.
Yeah, well, we'll start with Drew Brown. It's unfortunate it worked out the way it did. I feel like Jake Maier was brought in as insurance, as a high-end backup to Drew Brown. And, it felt like, the way Ryan Dinwiddie was speaking. And when you get to know him, like, he's pretty blunt. He doesn't hide much when it comes to that type of stuff. So, like, I take him at his word when he said that, Jake was going to be the starter. But for whatever reason in camp, whether it was just how he was going about his business day to day, like, from what I understand about Drew, I feel like he's a guy that puts in the work. Like, it's not like he's taking days off and that sort of thing. He puts in the work as a quarterback, and certainly you need that in that position in particular compared to other positions. You have to go above and beyond, because if you don't, you're going to be way behind the other quarterbacks in the league. And Drew does that. But, for whatever reason, I feel like he just saw more of a football leader in Jake Maier than Drew. And Jake got that first preseason game in Montreal with, a lot of the rookies, and Drew stayed in Ottawa. And after that game, they named Jake the starter. And, I think that upset Drew. He wasn't happy, asked to be released, asked to be traded, didn't want to be here anymore. So it was just a matter of time before they had to get him out, kind of get the cloud lifted from the team, a la, the hockey captain that we had here over the last year and a half. Bit of a cloud under Brady Tkachuk over the last year or so with some of the stuff that we're hearing now in particular. But, that's a different story. But, yeah, just moved him to Winnipeg. I'd heard, in year 2 last year that he wanted to go back to Winnipeg when his contract was done. So you can't have somebody that doesn't want to be there. They accommodated him with the trade, but they needed somebody else to come in to support Jake and certainly be counted on if they need to go in a different direction. McLeod Bethel-Thompson, has that experience, won a Grey Cup with Ryan Dinwiddie back in 2022, so knows the offense, knows the expectations. In a perfect world, well, we don't see him, right? We see him running the scout team. We see him running with the twos. But, and we see him mentoring who I think is a really promising young quarterback based on what I saw in camp in Bryson Barnes, a rookie at Utah State. But, again, in a perfect world, it's Jake Maier leading the turnaround here. But, he's going to need some support. He needs some support from the offensive line. I think his receivers have done a reasonable job. I don't think they've really let him down, but they have to do a better job running the football. And, have to do a better job keeping them upright as well. So we'll see how it goes here against the Elks. Again, they can't afford to be playing from behind like they have for most of the season. So it's imperative they get a real good start today if they're going to find a way to get that first win. And there's a lot of challenges on defense as well, trying to slow down one of the most dynamic players in the league for me, and Justin Rankin.
Yeah. Justin Rankin off to a fantastic start, dropping the ball a bit. We'll see if he can shore that up from an Elks standpoint. We've got AJ Jakubic with us, Ottawa Red Blacks play-by-play man. You can catch him on TSN 1200. AJ, I have a two kind of parter question. I was gonna split them up, but I'm gonna combine them here. With the lack of success with the Red Blacks in the last 5 years, just the one playoff appearance and some tough 4-14 seasons mixed in there, a 3-11 year in that shortened season. How is the fan base reacting to the tough stretch year by year recently here? Because Ottawa, when it came back into the league as the Red Blacks, it looked awesome. The stadium was pretty full. The vibe, by all accounts, is awesome in and around the district. And I know there's also the stadium reconstruction that's starting to happen right now with the arena at the one end and then redoing, I think it's the north end zone stands. So to combine them, like, how's the fan base reacting to all of this? Will they come back? And then tell us about this construction of the stadium, because I find it fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, they're not happy.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, it's not just the fact that they've been out of the playoffs. Like, since 2018, like, they had 2 wins the first year, but it was expansion. Everything was new and exciting, and they were competitive actually that first year. They couldn't score. They were brutal offensively, but they were in a lot of games. They lost a 10-8 game to the Eskimos when they were the Eskimos back then. They lost a 7-5 game to BC, a game that unfortunately ended the career of Travis Lulay in a monsoon. So yeah, I mean, that first year, there was still a lot of bloom on the rose, and then the next 4 years, really the best 4-year stretch of Ottawa football in my lifetime, and I'm 51. So getting to 3 Grey Cups, winning a Grey Cup in 2016, just a lot of fun watching Henry Burris and then Trevor Harris lead this team to victories and those 3 Grey Cup appearances. And since Trevor Harris left, I mean, they won the 2018 East Final, played in brutal conditions at Commonwealth Stadium, and lost to Calgary on a field that was basically an ice rink. And, since that time, they've won 27 games. Like, that's 8 years ago. And I know the pandemic happened and a year was lost, but, the 27 wins is the number. So they got to start winning. That's the bottom line. The crowds have been, I think, 2 of 15,000 plus and 1 of 13. The first 2 games, definitely, like you talk about weather. I mean, if you watch the Elks play that opening game in Ottawa, it was damn near another monsoon.
They said it was miserable, AJ. Miserable, yeah, the Elks guys I talked to.
It was, I can confirm. So, that hurt the crowd. And the next game was rain, and it hurt the crowd. Last game was a better weather day, but now you're into your 3rd home game and you haven't won, and you've won 27 games since 2018. So that's kind of where they're at right now, which, until they build the confidence and trust back in this fan base, people are just not going to come in the same numbers that they did before. So, hoping this gets turned around sooner rather than later. At 0-4, it doesn't look great for this season, but the players aren't giving up yet when you talk to them. I mean, talked to Niles Morgan yesterday, and he gave me a 10 out of 10 belief that they're going to turn things around. So, and he seemed pretty genuine in his comments. So I don't think we're at the stage yet, and I've seen it, and I'm sure in Edmonton they saw it here as well. You start down the path of losing games, and before long it seeps into the players, and it's season over, it's toast. So I don't feel like we're there yet, but if the losses keep piling up, it won't be far off, unfortunately. As far as Lansdowne 2.0 is concerned, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much they show on the broadcast, but there's a big pit behind, one of the end zones on the east side where they're building an arena. Essentially, if you haven't been to Ottawa, the north side stands, underneath it is the arena, the Ottawa Civic Center, TD Place it's called, where, the Ottawa 67s have played since 1967, where the Ottawa Senators played for a few years when they came into the league in 1992. So yeah, it's right under the north side stands. So there's not really much you can do with that side. So basically they're building the arena on the east side. When that is done, then they're going to tear down the north side stands and the arena, and then redo the north side stands, which is going to be bit of a 2-year project where the team's going to be playing in front of capacity of 14 or 15,000. Now at that point, hopefully they're winning enough games where, every game is going to be a sellout.
I hope so.
And it's going to be a problem to get into TD Place, and maybe, that, and then when the new facility is ready in and around 2030, hopefully, they're in a spot where they're winning games to the point where you can fill, the 22,000 capacity stadium at that point. But yeah, it's tough times right now. And the other thing about Ottawa right now is there's, and I love it, but there's too many teams right now. Like you've got a lacrosse team that they're looking for a new place to play. You've got a basketball team that's like the Stingers do really well here. I think I'm going to go on Saturday, but the basketball team, and they just had new ownership this year. They're averaging about 1,500 a game. We have men's soccer, we have women's soccer, we have women's hockey, which does really well. You have the Senators, you have two major junior teams because it's Ottawa and Gatineau
that's right.
both do well. There's a lot of teams. Then you've got two universities in Carleton and Ottawa when it comes to, both basketball and football. They have major events every year where the Panda game gets 25,000 and Capital Hoops gets about 8,000 or 10,000 every year for basketball. So you've got a lot of sports, and which is great, but there's probably a little too much. Whereas Edmonton, I feel they need a soccer team, for example, and some other things, and so that it's great for teams like I went last night to the Riverhawks game. It was Oil Kings alumni night, so it was really cool to see Bob Green and Rogan Dean and some people there that have been or were part of the Oil Kings when I was doing games there. But I did a walk around the stadium because we were in the suite area. I did a walk around the stadium and walk around the concourse, and I can't say enough good things about what they're doing there.
It's excellent,
and it's not even professional.
Yeah.
So, and look, they're doing a great job, but it also helps that you don't have 11 teams to support in this city, and so the Riverhawks do better and the Stingers do better, and hopefully if the Elks get back into the playoffs, and I think that's trending in the right direction for them, then this team's going to do better. It's never going to be back to the days where I grew up, watching two dynasties in the 80s, the tail end of the Warren Moon led Grey Cup dynasty that they had, leading into, of course, the Stanley Cup 5 titles in the 80s. This is an Oilers town now. I come back often. I keep in touch with what's going on in this city. But I remember when it was even opposite 5 Stanley Cups, the Eskimos were as big as the Oilers in the 80s. You're getting 40, 50,000 on a regular basis, and it was a big deal here. Is that ever going to return where they're on par with the Oilers? Probably not. But I know that there's a sleeping giant in this city, and really hoping, that they can get back to the playoffs, and really hoping that, they can get back to at least, or 40, 50,000 coming back on a daily basis. Probably not. But I don't think it's out of the question that they should be getting 20 to 30,000 on a regular basis. Agreed. If they've got a quality product that the public can believe is going to be competitive at the very least each and every year. And so hoping for that here in Edmonton, and back to Ottawa, just hoping they can get on track here. And, because you're right, in terms of the atmosphere, when things were going well, buzzing in the stadium, it's a fantastic place with, a ton of restaurants and bars nearby. It is one of the best places to go in the league when you talk to different broadcasters on a game day. But, it's tough when there's 15,000 people there. It's not quite the same as when there's 20,000 plus. So here's to some success for both Edmonton and Ottawa, because they've both endured too many hard times over the course of the last decade.
AJ, this was 3 years in the making. We knocked it out of the park, in my opinion. Fantastic, as always, to catch up with you. I will see you at Commonwealth tonight, my friend.
Can't wait, Tom. Anytime. Cheers.
There you go. There's AJ Jakubic, play-by-play man for the Ottawa Red Blacks. Catch him on TSN 1200, and always a wealth of information. He is a sports nerd, like myself and like many of us, and I love chatting with him anytime I get the opportunity. And yes, he called Oil Kings games back in the day. Shout out to Rogan Dean, a day one Oil King. Bob Green, who's the first GM in the modern era of Oil Kings history. And good to see them getting together yesterday at the Riverhawks game. So great stuff there from AJ Jakubic. We will get to Cam and Eggs in our next segment. We've got to take a quick break here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
You may get up early, but more than likely, the team at GS Construction have already gotten up before you, grabbed a coffee, headed to the site, and started their day. So while Edmonton wakes up, GS crews are already underground, quietly keeping things moving, upgrading, and laying the new underground infrastructure for our growing city. If you're the kind of person who goes to sleep with their steel-toed boots on, GS Construction wants to hear from you. We're looking for a maintenance foreman as well as a building and yard attendant. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca. Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Area Adjusted and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
It's finally time to escape your four walls and see where your four wheels can take you. Sherwood Honda helps you head out on the road the way you want to, with the right vehicle, including freedom-seeking SUVs that give you the versatility to drive where, when, and how you want to. It sure would do some good to get out and stretch your horizons, and sure would be easier with Sherwood Honda.
This is the moment you become queen.
The global phenomenon returns, only on Crave. HBO's House of the Dragon is back for its most fiery season yet. Don't miss new episodes of breathtaking spectacle, shocking betrayal, and explosive drama.
You are the Queen of Dragons. You have an absolute power within your grasp.
House of the Dragon. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
We continue on here on the Tom Gazzola Show on this Thursday, game day for the Elks. Thank you to AJ Jakubic for stopping by. Great stuff, good information, as always, from AJ. And he's a local product, as most people, I think, know, and a wealth of information. Looking forward to seeing him in the flesh at Commonwealth tonight. Do we have Elks tickets to give away, or did we give them away already, Brando? We have more to give away. All right, it's simple. What do people need to do if they want to go to the game?
So, yeah, just text Elks. Elks, plural, ELKS, right? That's what they're chanting in the stadium, right, Tom?
I believe so.
ELKS. Text Elks to our text line, 1-833-401-1440, and you automatically get entered in, and we will give away probably another set, maybe even 2 sets here before the day is out. So if you do text in, make sure you can use them because you'll get a message back from our promo team and asking for your info to get them fired across to you ahead of tonight's kickoff.
Awesome. I hope there's a lot of people in the stands today, and the weather's supposed to turn for the better. I know it's drizzling on the way in. It's supposed to drizzle a little bit here this morning, and then it's supposed to clear up. And I get chirped when I'm on the sidelines, some pretty good ones. I respect those and appreciate them, but I get down a little bit when I can hear like individual chirps. And it's
you like
the
it to be
only
more
thing I hear.
like a roar and just like, yeah.
Yes.
So do you got a prediction for the numbers tonight? That's one of our favorite games.
I want to see 22,000 plus.
Yeah, I would agree.
Please.
I think anything less than that would be a big disappointment because we've talked so much. Well, they got to be better, make people want to come to the game.
Yes.
I get it. They're coming off a loss, but we know how exciting they are offensively. You've got one of the best players in the league, touting the ball 20 times a game. This is like they've held up their end. It's kind of up to the fans in the city now to answer the bell.
Look who it is. Hi, Laddie. Oh, boy. We need to get to Cam and Eggs. Cam Tate yesterday with a doozy talking about the road to Russia coming back into the Olympics, and people were discussing that. I'm sure Laddie has an opinion on it. He doesn't want to get into it. Let's hear what Cam has today for Cam and Eggs.
Riddle me this. Tommy, riddle me this. When's the last time, and I mean really, Edmonton had a football game in July, the second month of this CFL season, that actually meant something? Meaningful, that's the key word there, because we've got one tonight. Elks, Red Blacks, Commonwealth Stadium. Here we go. Green and gold in the stands, lights up over Commonwealth, kickoff just hours away. And the Elks, 3 and 1. And maybe that tells you something. It all starts at the top. Come on, say it with me. It all begins at the top. Look, we watch the highlight reel and we think that's the whole story. The gutsy catches, the big hits, the perfect throws, the runs that shouldn't work and somehow do. We see all that and figure, that's it. That's the answer. Talent. Pure, raw, athletic talent. That's what turns a football team into the double C, a contender, and then, if you're lucky, a champion. Perhaps we haven't had that leadership in Edmonton since Hugh Campbell retired in 2006. But watch the Elks close enough this summer, and you start seeing the other part of the story, the part that never makes the highlight reel. How much it matters just to have a good, solid, visionary front office behind the scenes. One that can juggle the football side, the business side, the community side, and maybe most important, the vision. The belief that better days are actually coming. All of it at once without dropping the ball. Elks president Chris Morris is doing exactly that. Rebuilding trust, rebuilding belief, piece by piece. You don't see that on a Thursday night under the lights, but you feel it, eventually, in games like tonight. And that's why there's a football game in Edmonton in July that actually means something. But here's the part I love. Before Chris Morris ever ran a front office, he was blocking for one. 14 years, an offensive lineman, green and gold, 3 Grey Cup rings to show for it. Then years teaching in this city's schools. Years coaching young men out at the University of Alberta. And now, back home, running the whole show. Maybe that's not a coincidence. Maybe protecting this team was never just about the guy in the trenches. Maybe it was always going to take that same guy at the top doing it all over again. It all begins at the top, Edmonton. Let's see where it goes tonight. Cam and Eggs. Sports 1440.
from Cam Tate. Makes you think. Always appreciate it. Cam and Eggs, fantastic edition of that. And I look forward to tomorrow's version of it. Vladdy Daddy's ready to go. Oh, he's ready to go. Okay. Do we have to go to a quick break before? We're going to go to a quick break before we get to Ladislav Schmid. We got a couple of weeks of Vladdy before he's headed back to the CZAC. But a cool endeavor, and I'm glad we get to catch up. So Ladislav Schmid coming up next right here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Calling all animal lovers. Grab your leash, gather your family, and join Subaru and Scars for the 22nd annual Tails on the Trails Family Fun Day and Pledge Walk, Saturday, July 11th at Lions Park. Bring your furry best friend and enjoy a day packed with fun, including a 2.5 or 5 kilometer pledge walk, great vendors, silent auction items, a barbecue, and even pet-friendly beer gardens. Join Subaru on July 11th at Lions Park, St. Albert. We'll see you at Tails on the Trail, sponsored by Subaru. Welcome to Uncommon.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$9:37 in Evanston. It is the Tom Gazzola Show here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Bet365. Join the conversation. Text us 1-833-401-1440. Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, and the one and only Laddie Daddy. Oh, buddy, it is so good to see you.
Good to see you too, Tommy.
It's always a pleasure.
Oh, my God. It got so much younger. The old stench is gone. Hey, guys. Nice and clean here.
Hey, well, I appreciate that.
No.
You and I go way back. And Brandon was asking, he's like, did you guys like have fun together back in the day? I'm like, no, you try to keep like a respectable distance and not impose.
We crossed paths at certain bars, though.
Did.
Yeah.
We did. We had some fun.
We did. Yeah, but yeah, like you're trying to be respectful, right? Like, but yeah, we had some good times. Like, Tommy's a good boy, good guy.
Yeah, right. I remember the funniest thing you ever said to me. Now I'll keep the expletives out, but maybe after one of the first times we crossed paths on the road somewhere, might have been somewhere warm, sunny, by a beach, perhaps. and we might have been out having some fun. You guys won the next game that day, which was hilarious. But I remember seeing you.
You gotta play hangover. You shouldn't be in the NHL.
Touche. But I remember you look at me the next day. You're like, "Holy expletive, angel face, buddy! Put on some sunglasses."
Yeah, that's being professional.
Hey.
You need sunglasses on the road.
we got through it. Yeah, you had to play guilty the next day. I had to work guilty the next day, and we got through it. But no, this is awesome, Vladdy. And I know you have a lot of opinions on things. Somebody texted in earlier. They're like, just ask Vladdy what he thinks of the word Czechia. And I remember we did the World Juniors together. We did that Hockey Canada IIHF show. Yeah. And that's when Czechia started to be used. And you're like, what is that? Does it still piss you off?
Yeah.
Like, where did that come from? Why
I guess
the
government. I asked my mom because it kind of came out of nowhere, and one day it was like they switched it from Czech Republic to Czechia.
Yeah,
I still call it Czech Republic.
Yeah,
I don't care what anybody says, but apparently the government wanted to simplify it, put it in one word. But now, like, it's Czechia. It's like sounds like Chechnya,
kind of, and people
people confuse it. So yeah, I'm pissed off. People are not. From what I know, people are not very happy about it in Czech too. But I guess government just loves spending money on like changing the we have other problems. But hey, let's change the name of our country.
Yeah.
Like, how dumb is that? It's been like that forever. And then you just like Canada would change it to something else. Like I don't know what, but
something.
Yeah,
Canada with a K or whatever.
Yeah, but it's just stupid. Just so stupid. I'm pissed off. Especially when somebody says, "Oh, you're from Chechnya." I was like, "No,
way different
country." And no disrespect to Chechnya, but Czechia and Chechnya is two totally different countries
and cultures.
Cultures.
Yeah,
Czech Republic is Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a bold name too. I always thought.
Yeah. I love that, and now it's Czechia. Just dumb.
Hey, this World Cup, I learned of Turkey. We're calling it Turkey now. I think.
Man, like there's other stuff even during the World Championship in hockey.
Mm-hmm.
The commentators in Czech, they were trying to change the Swedish names because apparently there's like Swedish names we were pronouncing it wrong for the longest time in Czech language.
Okay.
So now the announcer, like one of the biggest names, he's been doing this for like 40 years.
Yep.
Started to call these guys different names, like from year to year, and it's the same guys, and like people didn't understand that. They're like, just stick with what we know.
Yeah,
because people are pissed off because now you're trying to take on the Swedish language and like trying to say it in their language, and I'm like, just again, it's just dumb. Like, just stick with what everybody knows. And like, he was getting into these names, and he like it was like a vicious cycle. Like there was no winning. People are complaining. They didn't understand the names. It was like weird. Just like stuff like that is pissing me off. Like, I'm very old school traditional guy. So,
I know.
So like, I don't like when people like or when things change, like Czech Republic, Czechia.
Mm-hmm.
Now this guy was like calling guys. I thought it was like a totally different Swedish team. But it was the same guys. He was just pronouncing the names totally different. And it's the same name. So he's like, yeah. Like, he was trying to explain that he learned it somewhere, like with his colleagues, like from Sweden. And I'm like, but you're a Czech announcer. You're doing this for Czech people. Nobody else is listening to it because they don't understand our language. So do it for Czech people. Like, I don't care what they call them in Sweden.
Yep.
I know them under certain names. And like, if you change it, like,
confusing people.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like, even when you got traded here and people are like, who's Smid?
Yeah.
It's like Schmid.
Yeah, Schmid.
But everybody picked up on it,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
And I remember when Andre Sekera signed here, he was going by Sekera. And then Jack Michaels, our good buddy, was like, hey, what do you pronounce your name as? And he goes, well, you can just say Sekera. Like, Reggie's such an easygoing guy.
Yeah.
But he's like, really, it's Sekera. And
Sekera,
then so we're just like, oh my God, we're changing it on the fly. But there are some names I kind of appreciate having more of an effort to say a player's name more properly. But in English, I feel like it's easier to adapt. than it is, say, from saying a name in the Czech language as opposed to trying to pronounce it properly the Swedish way.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like English is different. Like I appreciate when people try to say my name proper way here, right? Like the NHL.
Yeah, it's the league.
It's it's the league, but totally different than when you're trying to like take it from Swedish language and like it's the same player that have been pronounced certain way for past 10 years. And now all of a sudden this guy was trying to reinvent the wheel and like it's like, okay, buddy, I don't even know I'm like, oh yeah, it's this guy. He plays in the NHL. But like I wouldn't know that because you're calling him totally different name. Like I'm like
I remember when Jack did that with Reggie, Andre Sack, also great guy. May have crossed paths with him.
Oh yeah, I know him. I know him. Hell
may
of a
have
player
had to
too.
carry him back into the hotel in Dallas.
That's a dangerous city.
It is a dangerous city. It's a lot of fun there. But I remember saying to Jack, I'm like, what are you doing? Let us just call him by the name that we've been using in the league for 10 years. He's like, no, I want to get it right. So it's kind of funny that way. And everybody does it their own little way. But the language thing, I always find that interesting. Yeah, there's some interesting ones indeed. But
for sure.
Yeah. People texting in, Muzz, 100% agree, laddie. Turkey. That's the text.
Turkey.
Yeah. IMAX says if you look it up, the turkey name is different because in English the word turkey means crappy. Look it up.
Yeah, but everybody's been calling it turkey. Turkey, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I remember on a flight one day when Oscar Klefbom and Leon Draisaitl were really young in their careers. And it might have been their first full seasons in Edmonton. And they were sitting right behind me. Remember all the vets, you guys sat at the back and then I got stuck by the food tray. Yeah. The good old days. Those were fun days, man. I really enjoyed that part of the job. And Oscar and Leon were talking behind me and they were saying their names to each other the proper way, like the Swedish way and the German way. And like Leon's like Leon Draisaitl, and I'm just like,
like who are you?
Yeah. And then Oscar's, and he's like, well, what about you? And Leon speaks Slovak, doesn't he? Czech. Or does he talk Czech?
Czech.
He speaks Czech.
Czech a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know how comfortable he feels in it, but his dad is Czech.
Yes, and
he speaks fluently.
So like he's a smart guy, speaks many different languages, and then Oscar's like. And Leon goes, well, how do you say your name? He's like, Oscar Klefbom. And I'm just like, that's way better than Klefbom. But Klefbom's still a sick name.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how young and innocent and new to the pro game are these two that they're like, how do you say your name in your language? I thought it was hilarious. I'll always remember that.
Funny.
Yeah. And two really good guys and excellent hockey players. I'm so sad. I was talking about Oscar yesterday on a different show, and I really enjoyed him. I mean,
can you imagine that Oscar would be on the blue line right now?
He'd be an older guy too, which is crazy.
Oh, he would be your number one.
Yeah.
Nothing against Bushbaum, but I think Klefbom would be the number one guy all around, in my opinion.
Him and Larson were really good.
Oh man, like that. Yeah, that's what. But not just for the Oilers, but for him too. Like I thought he was a hell of a player. And he was only getting better and better. Now he would be the veteran. And yes, what a shame. Like even for like a Swedish hockey, like you would have another stud defenseman. Yeah, it's just,
That shoulder, man. You had to have it replaced.
Yeah, I know, man. It's like, I guess it is what it is. But like, I was very, very sad for him because great guy, great professional, just still young, right? And it sucked for Oilers. And then
it did.
And then you're like in this, like, then Broberg, you drop Broberg, you lose him. You could have two stud defensemen from Sweden. You know how Swedish defensemen are.
They're pretty good.
You would have three actually with Elgholm.
That's
it would
right.
be a nice Swedish connection here. But I guess things didn't work out. And every year we talk about, how can we improve the defense? If you would have, Oscar here, Oscar would solve a lot of problems, I feel like.
I agree. I really agree. That brings up something that had been mentioned before, and I think this was a couple of years ago. Maybe it was something Struddy told me, but
Struddy.
Yeah, you know that guy?
The older guy.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
but
he is.
Did you ever come across a Swede who wasn't a good dude? I'm sure there are some, but
not really. Like most of them are like good guys. Just
Yeah.
like easygoing, always like positive energy.
Yeah,
Do you remember Robert Nielsen?
I do. I got a little bit of.
Oh, just a little bit. Oh,
Yeah.
the older Robert. Oh, love the guy. He was one of the like most positive, easygoing, like never any worries in his life guy. Like honestly, like he could have the crappiest game. Next morning, he was just like smile. He was like into like expensive stuff, treating
course.
himself. Oh, yeah. We call him Sir Robert.
Sir Robert.
Sir Robert. Yeah.
He never seemed like he was in a bad mood. Like I was
No.
around the team for a couple. I was Gene's studio runner my first year, 07, 08.
Yeah.
And then I started working for the Score, so I was around the team a bit more. But 2010 was my first year. I think they had traded him at that point.
Yeah.
But I did interview
Great
him
guy.
a couple times, and I'm like, that guy doesn't have a care in the world.
No.
Yeah, he was good people. Another Swede that maybe was misunderstood that you would have played with, Linus Olmark.
Misunderstood. So
I found him.
that guy was that kid was. Yeah, he wasn't typical Swede.
Well, he was Finnish too.
Yeah, it was half and half, right?
Yeah,
he worried a lot.
Did he?
Like, yeah, he wasn't like the easy, like he was pretty easy going, but like then when in certain situations he would get stressed, unusual for a Swedish guy.
Yeah.
But when he didn't get stressed was when he did the 360 and then he scored a goal.
Remember how mad that made people?
Oh, I was pissed off. We were all pissed off on the bench.
Were you?
It's like no, but
I
he's
never asked
bad.
you guys about that.
But he like before he took that shootout,
Mm-hmm.
he said, "Don't worry, guys, I got this."
He said that to you. First game.
Don't worry, guys, I got this. It's like okay, and then he pulls that, and I think it was Hork. He's like, "Is this for?"
Did he talk?
Beep for real? We were like all looking at each other. It's like, oh my god. I don't know what was worse. If first game doing this, but hey, good for him. Or
Sure.
Nail Yakupov when he scored against Los Angeles and then he slid on his
Fleury.
knees. Yeah.
Because you were still on the team then too.
I was still on the team. Yeah. So I don't know which one was. Probably Nail was worse than.
Well,
I don't know.
you
but-
guys won both of those games.
Yeah, we did, but then we got killed the following game against LA, and they showed Nail on the big screen with the Kings
crown
as he's sliding in the neutral zone. It was hilarious. Yeah, but you know what? Those guys learned a lesson. Like I think Hork or somebody talked to Linus.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I think Hork was good at that stuff.
I think he talked to him that's don't do this, and one of us talked to Neil too. Well, they don't know. They're so excited, right? So like I see the other side, but it was shocking sitting on the bench and just your entire bench looked like a bunch of idiots. Like, what do you teach these kids? It's like nothing. It's like,
have you seen his highlights?
Like, come on.
Yeah, I remember. I like Linus because I would talk to him. They would send me down to Oklahoma City at times, like when there was a break in the schedule, or I wouldn't go on a road trip with you guys. And I got to know a lot of the guys down there. It was very easygoing, and I like Linus. Like I could talk to him a little bit, and we got comfortable with one another. But you're right; like you could tell there was something there. Like it looked like he was always something was on his mind.
Yeah, I guess because hey, skill wise, like. He was unbelievable in Europe. Like he was highly skilled in the NHL too, but like he just couldn't put it together like on a consistent basis.
Yep.
I remember always teasing him because he told us that his girlfriend works on like a cruise ship. That was I was like, that's the one information you shouldn't give me, buddy. You know what happens, and like just randomly, we were just randomly when he would get too comfortable. Me or somebody else is like, you know what happens on cruise ships, right? It's a one big orgy. So
I wasn't gonna say that.
Like, shut up, guys. She's not like that. I was
I'm
like,
sure
yeah,
she's
sure.
wonderful. I'm sure she's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yak is interesting. I had to drive him home sometimes from the rink.
Did you?
A couple times, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because his mom would pick him up.
He
He
was-
didn't have a license.
Yeah, he was. But like people, I heard like was he bad guy? I was like, no, he's
No.
never he was such a nice kid. Like very humble. It was a cultural shock, I feel like, for him moving to Canada and then, getting used to the culture here, then getting used to hockey.
Yep.
It was a lot for him. And again, another guy that couldn't put it all together. Like there was all kind of skill in the world. Like he had everything, shot, skating, everything. I just think he couldn't process the game the right way. In my opinion, like that. I don't want to. He wasn't dumb. Just not on the same page. Hockey, like I don't. Again,
it's gonna didn't connect.
It didn't connect, and I like people are gonna think, oh, he wasn't smart enough hockey wise. No, it was just he couldn't get used to the North American style of hockey.
Right.
Like he's more towards the European style of hockey, and some guys can adapt, some guys cannot. And unfortunately, he couldn't adapt to it. But he worked hard. He was willing, like he was listening to the older guys. I know Horg had him under his wing, but with some guys, it just doesn't click. And unfortunately, it didn't click. But I really like Niall. Like he was a really good, humble kid.
Sometimes, like on Instagram, I'll shoot him a note, and he'll actually get back to me.
Yeah?
And it's nice to see that he's still playing and doing well. I know he's played for a bunch of teams and stuff, but I remember when he got drafted, we were in Pittsburgh, and we were supposed to do an interview with him, like get to know Nail Yakupov the next day. A lot of people were super excited about him being picked. He didn't show up. They couldn't find him. JJ couldn't find him.
Oh, JJ.
But we'll leave that.
Did actually JJ try to find him?
That's a great question.
Or he pretended. Oh, I couldn't find him. Did you try?
I'm busy.
I'm busy.
I remember when you got traded, it was in Philly, and
people weren't happy with JJ.
Well, you guys went for dinner.
Yeah.
And I remember we were sitting in the lobby of the hotel waiting for you to come back because everybody wanted to talk to you. You're a popular player and great to talk to, and everybody liked talking to you. And
thank
you. It was an important trade, and we wanted to hear from you. Yeah. That's a sincere sentiment from all of us at the time in the media. And so we knew you guys were coming back from dinner, and JJ was kind of being like a little bit coy. He was being JJ about it. And then it turned into a huge fight in the lobby, and there was some things said. And I remember you were on the phone with Derek Van Diest, who's now with NHL.com. Yeah. And DVD remembers the story well. And he goes, Vladdy could hear all the yelling as I was trying to do this interview. And you asked, like, what the heck's going on? And I think Vladdy said, or DVD's like, just JJ getting into it with a few guys.
Not surprised.
And guess who was sitting in the lobby, like not too far away from us? I don't know if you know the everyday Italian, Giada De Laurentiis.
No.
She's like a very popular like chef, TV chef and host.
No.
She has a restaurant on the Strip in Vegas at one of the hotels.
Really? She was there?
She was right there, like looking at us going, who are these idiots? Fighting over a trade.
Yeah, just that doesn't look good at all.
No,
on the
it was
organization.
bad.
And sorry, guys, I went, I got traded and then we couldn't cancel dinner. It was with Boracek and Hammer. So it's like we had to go.
That. Yeah,
I had to go. Sorry.
That's a good dinner crew.
Yeah.
That's a really good. And you brought JJ too, didn't you?
No. I would probably bury him somewhere.
Poor JJ. If you're listening, JJ, hello. Hope
Hi,
you're doing
JJ.
well.
No.
Hi, JJ. Yeah.
Yeah. Poor guy. It was my fault, I guess. No, it was McTee's fault. He traded me.
I know.
No.
Yeah.
Feel like all good with McTee.
I know. McTee's a good man. But good trip down memory lane. Okay, we've got Ryan Pike coming up next from Flames Nation. So we'll chat with him. We'll get to a sports update. I know you and I could probably talk forever and tell some stories. So we'll dive into that more with the boys. But we'll talk Flames coming up here for the Puck Report. But we do have a sports update with Brandon coming up, brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding. AWSwelding.ca. More Laddie Daddy after the break and a sports update right now with Brando.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Week 6 in the CFL kicking off tonight from Commonwealth Stadium with the green and gold host and the winless Ottawa Redblacks game getting away just after 7 o'clock. Off the field, Winnipeg Blue Bombers announcing that newly acquired quarterback Drew Brown will start for them Friday night against the Toronto Argonauts. Zach Collaros leaving last week's game due to injury and his status not available to play. World Cup quarterfinals getting underway this afternoon in Boston from Foxborough Stadium with France against Morocco. 2:00 kickoff between those two rivals. And in the majors today, no Blue Jays in action, but 13 other games, including the Mets hosting the Royals. Yankees today set in Tampa against the Orioles hosting the Cubbies. Mariners against the Marlins. Red Sox play the White Sox in Chicago. And in one of the nightcap games, Padres hosting the Diamondbacks. Edmonton Riverhawks rubber match tonight against the Nanaimo Night Owls from Remax Field. First pitch just after 7. And from the NHL offseason, in case you missed it, Connor Bedard suffering a injury while on the ice. Shoulder surgery required. He's going to be sidelined for 4 months. Coming up in hour 4 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll be joined by Ryan Pike from Flames Nation, and we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu.
The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. Wait, I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me. Whew, what a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Your co-op grow team are your local experts because we live here too. Our agronomic specialists stay up to date with the latest research and technology to help support your entire farm operation. As your crops fill and mature, we're here to help you assess crop health, manage pre-harvest applications, and make informed decisions for a successful harvest. Co-op, we're all growing together. Here for your farm, here for your family. Talk to your co-op grow team today.
The Tom Gazzola Show. 60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Oh, final hour of the Tom Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365 here on 1440. Laddie Schmid in studio. We've got Brandon Douglas and Josh Fenwick. Hope you're having fun along for the ride. 1-833-401-1440 is the text line. Vincenzo says, great show, love listening. And I saw some people saying, Muzz says, great radio, boys. Could listen to Tommy and Laddie all day, every day. Yeah, I mean, Laddie is one of the guys I got along really well with. In my time at Oilers TV. When you got traded, it's super sad. Like, I was honestly legit sad. So,
thank you. I was also sad.
I know.
I
know.
Nothing against Calgary, but like when you play for Edmonton, and then you get traded to Calgary, not easy. Times. But I'll mention Steve Stais was one of the first phone calls because he played for Calgary also, and he called me and he acknowledged it's not going to be easy, but I have to get over it. It's business, and then I'm going to love Calgary. And Calgary is a great city.
And they took care of you because you were going through some tough stuff injury-wise.
Yeah, injury-wise, like unfortunately, I didn't give them what I wanted to. I basically had to retire from hockey for a year and a half with my neck issues. But they were great. Brett Treliving, Brian Burke, both great guys.
Yep.
I'm going to talk about Bob Hartley. Don't want to, but it's a different story.
Wow, this seems to come up a lot with guys who played for Bob Hartley.
Yeah, you have no idea, man. And I don't want to be swearing on the radio, so
okay, no swears, no CRTC violations. Is Ryan good to go? Awesome. Okay, we're going to talk about the Calgary Flames because honestly, when the Flames and the Oilers are good and the Battle of Alberta is hot, it's just better for hockey in general. Yeah, it's the best. So,
dude, it's not like that anymore. Like there was that when Matthew Tkachuk and Cassian were here.
That was awesome.
That was awesome again, but still it wasn't to the same extent. But when I first started, it was mayhem. I loved it. You would like on the calendar. I would circle the days, the Battle of Alberta, and my first game in the NHL was against Calgary. And like Dion Phaneuf was on the other side, and just the hatred for him was insane.
I played against him at Bantam, and he killed me. Like,
he did?
He would be like, "I'm going to crush you today," and he did. And I was like, "Oh no!"
And he hit hard, but oh my god, it was the best days. Seriously,
I'm glad. See, we can look back on that. I love it. Okay, let's bring in Ryan Pike for the Puck Report, brought to you by World Rugby Nations Cup. Fresh off that 42-42 draw against Spain on Saturday, Canada's men's rugby team will battle Portugal this Saturday at 7 p.m. Clark Stadium. Spain plays Tonga earlier in the afternoon. One ticket gets you both games. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. Good to see international play on the rugby stage here in Edmonton, which is excellent. So from Flames Nation, the one and only Ryan Pike. Great to have him on this show with me for the first time. Go way back with Ryan. Ryan, Vladdy Sweden and I here in studio, we were talking about the Battle of Alberta, his days as an Oiler and then as a Flame, and then him, I don't know if you caught it, circling his calendar for the Battle of Alberta, but I'm sure you can remember some of those games around 2010 into 2014, 2015-ish, that era.
Yeah, I was spoiled. That's right when I started covering the team, and those are some crazy days. And Laddie, everyone still circles the Battle of Alberta games on their calendar, regardless of how good, bad, or otherwise the teams are. There's something special about those games. So I think we're all looking forward to them, especially the final two visits from Edmonton to the palatial Scotiabank Saddledome this year.
Talk about the Scotiabank Saddledome. I know you want to jump in there.
Oh man, that's an old barn. That's an old barn. It's got
character.
It's got character, but it needs to go. Honestly,
we're all going to miss the dome. We're going to love the new building.
Yeah, exactly. I think Calgary Flames and the fans, they deserve the new building. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest. It's way overdue.
Yep.
I know a bunch of years ago it was supposed to happen, but the deal, new mayor, right? The deal kind of fell through, but finally it's happening. I'm so happy for the city of Calgary and for the fans. They're loyal. Mm-hmm. They deserve the best, honestly. And Canadian market, man, you need a nice building. You need to bring more and more fans. They're never gonna have problem, with selling out the building. But yeah, new building, similar spot. I'm pumped for Calgary.
How is that building coming along, Ryan?
It's getting there. They're almost done. I think all the steel is installed. They're working on the roof. They're working it's every time I go down there every couple of weeks. There's something to gawk at. Oh, I didn't know they could get that done that quick. So I think they're hoping to have the whole thing enclosed by the end of the year, so they can basically spend the winter and into the spring next year, basically finishing the inside. So it's going to be done quicker than we think.
It's a neat process. I remember when they were doing it here and checking it out when it was a construction site, and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I have a question for Ryan. It is Laddie oriented. When an Oiler gets traded to Calgary, how is it received by Flames fans and media, if you can recollect, Laddie's circumstance being traded over there?
I remember Laddie was there right when I started, and Laddie, you're always great with us, even though obviously you weren't on the ice what you wanted to be because of your injury. Always great with us. I got to learn about the inner workings of LTIR, unfortunately, because of your unfortunate circumstances. But I think it's always just sort of just getting to know people. I mean, I think there's only been like 3 or 4 trades between Calgary and Edmonton. The last one I think was Milan Lucic and James Neal. So I think there's a lot of it just sort of trying to figure out what folks are all about. But yeah, we've been pretty fortunate where a lot of the personalities we've gotten from our neighbors to the north have been pretty interesting people who don't mind educating us about the game. Those of us who did not play professionally, so it's always good to learn. And we've had a lot of good folks been able to teach us.
Hey, thank you for bringing up Milan Lucic and that trade, Ryan, because I remember something Laddie said to me about Lucic back in the day. I think you fought Iginla. Did you fight Jerome?
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap! Like you fought Jerome Iginla, and he's as tough as they come. And everybody around here knows the legacy of Iginla and the legend that he is. And I was like, Iginla fought Lucic, and I'm like, would you fight Lucic? And you know what Laddie said to me, Ryan? He goes, I'm going to do your voice. I'm sorry. You're like, Tom, man, I'd never fight Lucic. That guy's Serbian. He probably has a knife in his pants on the ice.
I know Luch a little bit too. I honestly some. If I would have to, I would probably drop the match.
You would. Yeah.
I don't know how good I would do, but yeah, I always go back when I fought Jerome. Like I was trying to throw him off of his game. Like he was obviously the head of a snake.
Yeah.
Like I have so much respect for him. Like in my opinion, like he's one of the best players I ever play against. In that span. And yeah, like we hated Calgary when I was on Edmonton, but I always respected Jerome Iginla. Like you have to. Just a classy guy on the ice, just works so hard.
Yep.
He would bring you. Like we knew we would have to leave him most of the time alone. Like if you would piss him off, it would be a goal, assist, Gordie Howe hat trick, like fight, maybe 2 goals at times. Yeah, it was ridiculous. He was just one of a kind. Like they don't really make them like that anymore. It's very rare to see that. Like if they do, like
well, I mean that would be somebody who would be probably picked in the top 5 easily. And I'll bring it closer to home because now Jerome is working with Craig Conroy, and they're trying to get this next edition of the Flames into a good spot. So having said that, in your opinion, Ryan, how is Craig Conroy and Jerome Iginla's plan working out right now down in Calgary as they look to become a playoff team again?
Well, I'll say this. I mean, I've been, we just passed the 3rd year anniversary of Craig becoming GM, and I was looking back at the press conference that he gave us the first day on the job, and give the man some credit. He's done exactly what he said he was going to do. Bringing it, emphasizing the kids, having a youth movement. Virtually every time he's had the opportunity to either double down on a veteran group or find ways to flip guys for assets, and also put some of these veteran guys who are departing in pretty nice positions for their careers too. He's managed to do it. I mean, the Blake Coleman trade might be a great example of that, where they get a quality individual in Jake Middleton back, and they get 3 draft picks, and they get Blake Coleman in a pretty good spot if you want to win another Stanley Cup. If you look at a lot of the trades he's made, Weegar, Anderson, Kadri, going down the list, they all kind of follow that same kind of framework. And I think, it's allowed them to have a lot of flexibility, allowed them to do a lot of interesting things. And, if you don't have the courage to sort of move off some of your vets, you don't have the ammunition to take a swing at someone like Simone Nemec. So I think obviously at some point they're going to have to find ways to start moving up the standings a bit. It might be a year or so away, but I think the first phase of this is going incredibly well considering the goals they stated.
Yeah, I like some of the moves that Craig did. I also think that he's gonna have to bring some more vets. Like you cannot just have all young kids, even though they're highly skilled. You still need somebody to learn from. So like at some point he's gonna have to kind of retool the, just bring back some of the vets, because like you said, like you lost Rasmus Anderson before Hannafin, Uyghur, Kadri, now Blake Coleman, who was very liked, from what I know, great professional, in my opinion, very, very good player. Like very like one of the best at this position, at this role. So like you're gonna have to find guys who are willing to come to Calgary and kind of teach the young guys. But I think they're in a good spot. You have your number one goalie, right? That starts there. Now, I think you drafted well. Like I was very high on Carroll's. That could be our number one defenseman down the road.
Correct's there.
Yeah, Parekh is there.
If you look at their top four, I mean, between if your top four is Carson Karls, Zane Parekh, Simone Nemec, and Kevin Ball for the next however many years, that's a pretty good top four to start with.
Yeah, I totally agree. But again, like you have Middleton there, but you should bring, like, for now, I would like to see older guy who could play top four.
Yeah,
like
Strome's in there. Backlund's getting older, but who else is there?
Yeah, not too many, but even
they
on
still got Joel Hanley. Joel Hanley's probably one of the more underrated, versatile guys in the league. He played top 2 minutes, top 4 minutes with Uyghur a couple years ago, and he played before he was injured at the end of the year. He was playing a lot with Zane Parekh, and Parekh, went out of his way to really praise what kind of an influence on and off the ice Hanley was. But I think the challenge I think the Flames are having, and I think one of the reasons why I think internally or externally they're perceived as sort of being hesitant to tear it down to the studs, is just the idea that, we'll use the obvious comparison to how Edmonton was initially in the first parts of the decade of darkness. It was a lot of 18-year-old kids and not a lot of veterans to insulate them or to help them out. And sort of, if you're asking an 18-year-old kid to both be the leader in the locker room and the leader on the ice, it might be too much to ask of most kids.
Oh, yeah.
And so having the right leaders to take on those media responsibilities, take on the responsibility of speaking up the locker room, like at a certain point, when, and Craig Andre started speaking about this recently, the idea that, Matt Coronado's been in the league for a few years, he's starting a big contract. He'll be sort of looked at to sort of be more of sort of a focal point of the team. They have, Joel Farabee wore a letter at the end of the year. Morgan Frost, I think they're looking at to take a bigger bite of the apple in that respect. But you sort of need to have the older guys to do that initially, to give the younger guys sort of some space to sort of grow their games and sort of grow their confidence. But at a certain point, you got to pass the baton and say, okay, it's your team now. And I think we're entering that period where we're probably going to start seeing some of those younger guys sort of take on more of that role, and perhaps some of these older guys start to transition out. But at the same time, I mean, you need your Zach Whiteclouds, you need your, they targeted Jake Middleton in the trade with Minnesota because I think they recognized they lost Ryan Lomberg, who was really important to that group in the locker room, but also he was one of those guys that if kids are getting shoved around and sort of liberties taken with them on the ice, you had Ryan Lomberg who is willing to sort of step up for them. I think that's the kind of thing they're looking to someone like Jake Middleton to do on and off the ice, sort of be that kind of guy that can mentor them, especially with, potentially, Carson Karls could be on the Flames as early as March this year. You're going to have, a bunch of guys who are, 2/3 of their defensive group could be in their first or second year of professional hockey or NHL hockey. So you need to have some guys there who can really be those mentors and help them become what the Flames hope they'd be. Because, as you guys learned up there during that decade of darkness, you can't just flip a switch and have it happen overnight. You need to have them gain that experience. And if you have the right veterans in the room and on the ice, some of that experience might not be as painful as it could be.
Ryan, what's Jonathan Huberdeau to this team now?
I think he'll always be, kind of ragged on for the contract, and you can't help that. The contract is what the contract is, but I think a lot of the younger guys really enjoy him. I know he was one of those guys that has taken on a mentorship role, and, he was even last year. I mean, I think the thing with Jonathan is he's a guy who cares so much about being a useful player, a contributing player. He does. I think, you always see there's the perception that, there's all these veterans who get their big contract and sort of, phone it in. That is not Jonathan Huberdeau. He a couple summers ago, had a long series of conversations with the Flames coaching staff because he was like, I want to help more. And so he basically learned how to kill penalties. He became much more of a responsible two-way forward, and it made the team so much more dangerous on the ice because you had this guy who could really use his offensive acumen in a defensive way and help break up penalty kills and do things like that. So I think with him last year, he was never 100%. He had sort of a hip thing that gradually became worse and worse and, eventually required pretty significant surgery. So they're hoping he will be 100% for training camp. The last indication we got from Craig Conroy was that everything's trending in the right direction. He's skating again. He's starting to get used to sort of the feel of the new hip on the ice. But, if this team is going to be moving things forward, I think they're going to need not only Jonathan Huberdeau as sort of like the mentor, the older brother figure on the team that can help these young guys out, especially, again, end of this year, you might see guys like Ethan Wittenbach and Cole Rezhny and Cullen Potter go from college to the NHL. That's a big jump. And Jonathan Huberdeau is a guy who's managed to make the jump from major junior as a highly touted young player and navigate those things. So having just the off ice stuff, having him around, I think, is a huge plus. But to insulate those kids, to allow them to sort of have their growing pains in the NHL, you're going to need Jonathan Huberdeau to be closer to what he was 2 years ago than, unfortunately, the injury-addled version we got last year.
Anything else for Ryan?
No, I just he mentioned Decade of Darkness. I was firsthand there. It's we were drafting kids first overall, and people here tend to have super high hopes, and yes. I think the Oilers there was so much pressure from the public and media, and I think the Oilers at that time didn't do a good job protecting those kids, or B didn't either in the locker room, and everything was piled up on these kids, Abs, Halsey, Nuge, Nail Yakupov, like all these kids, and they were just 18, like you mentioned, cannot do that. And I hope teams around learn from it, and I think Oilers learn from it too, because everybody was so excited that, you get a first overall, and like everybody learns from mistakes, like honest mistake, but I hope everybody learn from it, because you cannot have it like that. You have to protect those kids. You have to give them a couple years to kind of, to gain the experience, learn from older guys, and not just hand them like all the responsibility. Here you go. There is a letter on your jersey. No, you have to earn it. You have to learn. You have to earn it. You have to earn the trust of your teammates, earn the respect. It just doesn't happen. You get drafted, you're first overall, automatically you're going to play, and you're going to get all of this. And it wasn't their fault.
They didn't ask.
They didn't ask for it. But it didn't end up with all of them really good. And especially like first few years of their careers, like if they would be more protected, I think they would be better off. And like, like in 2-3 years, they would be even bigger additions to the team.
I understand what you're saying. And it's up to Craig Conroy and the staff there to make it happen in the Flames. I think Ryan outlined that really well. Okay, last one for you, Ryan. Are we stampeding? Because I know all of us are pretty familiar with Stampede.
Oh yeah, I've already put in some shifts, so I've been I think we're going down for some concerts over the weekend, but we've my better half and I put in our shifts already, so we're putting our work in. We're making sure that we're keeping the local economy going in this town, and it's I'll say this city is always known how to throw a party, and for 10 days we all just sort of blow off work, and we put the out of office email reply thing on, and just do what needs to be done in order to get going the next day.
And do it well. I think half of Edmonton's down there too, by the way. So yeah,
probably.
Ryan, great to catch up with you, man. If I don't see you the rest of the summer, talk to you the rest of the summer, we'll catch up with you in the fall. All right.
Have a good one.
I have a feeling I'll see both you guys up north at your barn pretty quick.
Ooh, I look forward to that. There you go. Ryan Pike from Flames Nation. He is in for the Puck Report, brought to you by the World Rugby Nations Cup. We need to take a quick break. When we come back, Vladdy and I will partake in In or Out with Brandon.
Let's look at this. Should they match the next?
The first question is already inaccurate because just coming across the wire, you guys, with Ryan Pike, the Anaheim Ducks have matched.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't change the question, but just changes the wording.
They matched.
They matched.
They had
So we'll dive into that maybe a little more in depth here to kick off.
You should have known this. It's your team, dude.
Well, dude, all week I've been talking about. I said they would do it. But it's official. It's official.
Yeah, but you already you should have had some insights. Like now we have to change the number one question.
It doesn't change the question.
I'm so glad I got Vladdy for a couple of weeks at least. Okay, quick break. When we come back, in or out with Brandon Douglas. More on the way here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Barbecue season. Nothing like a great steak. Which reminds me, Metal Supermarkets has even created custom grill tops for rusted old barbecues. Just one of the many special requests they've received over the years. You'll be amazed what their skilled crew can do. Barbecue grills to grills for classic cars. Sky's the limit. Speaking of sky, that's a lot of smoke up there. And fire in the hole. My steak. So long, sirloin. Metal Supermarkets, the local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball. Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to RobertsonBodyWorks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$10:27. It's the Gazzola Show presented by Bet365. Tom, Vladdy, Brandon, Josh with you. You can text us 1-833-401-1440. Oh man, this has been a lot of fun, and the fun continues with In or Out, brought to you by Pro Solutions. Need fast AC service? Pro Solutions offers expert repairs, tune-ups, and installs with flexible financing. Book your appointment now at prosolutionsinc.ca. Here we go.
Okay. You know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions. Just action. In or out.
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
We're not even there yet, and Vladdy's already riled up.
This is what I love. You're getting the true Ladislav Schmid. This is the beauty of Vladdy.
I would say it's unfiltered, but that's not true because we have had to filter him just in. and Tom, you got a first-hand example. He said, I don't want to talk about Bob Hartley because I don't want to swear on the radio.
Well,
3 years ago, Vladdy been like, I don't care. I'll drop this F-bomb, that F-bomb,
you know he
and
would.
let it fly.
I evolved, guys. I evolved. I've matured.
He's a pro's pro. This guy's cutting out. He's doing podcasts with his boys back in Czech,
coach,
and all this stuff. So it's great to see.
He's versatile.
I do have to change the wording of our first question because the Anaheim Ducks have matched the offer sheet for Leo Carlsson 5 years.
Before you continue, how do you feel about that, Duke?
I said it earlier in the week. I said they have to do it. They have to match it. It otherwise, even if you take the picks and you try and flip them into something else, you're not getting the long-term benefit of Carlson, even if it's too much money. Like, it's too much money. There's no denying it.
Yeah.
It's only 5 years. That's less than ideal. Just another stab at it. But if you're the Ducks and you're Pat Verbeek, you have to do it.
Yep.
So they do match it, meaning they are now in a salary cap crunch all of a sudden with their leading scorer from last year, 40-goal man, Cutter Gauthier, also needing a new deal as a restricted free agent. Now he is not offer sheet eligible. He does not have any arbitration rights. But I think the best course of action for Anaheim as a team is to go to Gauthier and basically hash it out, say, we learned our lesson. We're not going to dick you around, but we need you to take a 1-year deal at a substantially lower cap hit, call it $7-8 million. And then next year we will make whole on the long-term 15+ sheets deal, because in this format, in my version, they only have to shed one veteran contract. If they want to sign Gauthier long-term right now, they're going to have to shed at least a couple. And all of a sudden the team is substantially worse.
Can you structure the deal with signing bonuses so the AAV is not as high?
The AAV stays the same. It's an average annual value, so it doesn't.
That's how they get you.
So it can't. Probably most logical, but like, is he gonna go for it? Like, he cried himself out of Philadelphia Flyers.
Yes.
Like,
do players
in a perfect world? Yes, like, I see your logic, and it would make the most sense.
Yes,
but can he put the ego aside and say, okay, this is the best thing for the team, so I'm gonna suck it up 1 year, and then you can figure out, I'll give you 1 year. Or he's gonna be like, well, I'm the guy. Like, I just scored 41 goals. And it's like, why do I care? You put yourself in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we working here with?
The only bounce back to that, I would say, is our players at still 22 years old, and you just to use the phrase, you cry yourself out of situations, to do that with two teams by the time you're 23. I don't know if that's the type of reputation a guy would want to.
I hope not. I hope he matured, and like, he's a big part of Anaheim future. Don't get me wrong. Like, 41 goals, like, he delivered. Like, I don't think Anaheim even thought that this is gonna happen. 41 goals.
He went from 20 to 41 in his first to second full season.
I'm going to be in on it. I'm going to give him the benefit of doubt. I hope he matured. Like, this, it's an unfortunate situation.
Yes.
This is, like, in my opinion, this is Pat Verbeek's fault, because he went out there and said, we're going to match any offer sheet. He didn't have to do it. It happened. They matched it. Now they're going to have to go to Gauthier and say, hey, you see the situation? And he can show them if he's team player or not. He can buy them. It's interesting. I hope, because I kind of like what Pat Verbeek was able to do, man. Like, in the last few years.
It's just what you guys were talking about with Ryan. Like, the growth of these young players, but insulating them. Now, he threw money around in that insulation process with the deals that he gave to Granlund, to Killorn, the acquisition of
Trouba,
Kreider, and
and all
Trouba's
these guys.
on, and he clearly wasn't in the business of giving Trouba that much money that San Jose did. So all the power to him. But now, like, the Ducks are going to need help on the back end, and so if they want to shore that up, they're going to have to shed even another contract. You need 1 year until Kreider and Killorn are off the books. And if you want to bring them back, it's cap's continuing to go up. Even if those guys come back in their late 30s, you have to think it'll be a lower dollar figure. And maybe you just let them walk. You replace them as Roger McQueen ready to come at this point, right? They just give themselves more options and flexibility by just essentially kicking Gauthier's can one more year down the road.
I'm in on it. Like, it makes sense. I just hope. I don't know what kind of guy he is. Like, I don't want to judge him. I just saw what happened in Philly. I'm sorry for saying cry himself out, but it kind of seemed to me like that. But he's a hell of a player. They're gonna need him. But it's really up to the player these days.
It is.
And so I hope it works out.
I'm into really quickly, and I totally understand what Vladdy's saying. This is a different generation of hockey player.
Exactly.
And these are guys now, which we're seeing in the NHL, kind of calling their shots.
Yeah.
At young age.
Isn't it crazy?
To me, it is.
It is crazy because I'm not used to it, but that's the new era.
Yes.
That's the new era. Like, back in the day when I was starting or before, teams have so much power, and it was too much on the other side.
And that's fair.
That's fair. So, like, let's meet somewhere in the middle. But we skip the middle, and now there is too much power to the players. I'm happy for them.
Sure.
Don't get, like, I'm not jealous. Like, I'm out of the game, but it's maybe too much.
What you're saying is fair, and it's true, and that's what's
true.
happened. There was no middle ground.
There's
it went all the way to the other side. And that's what I'm curious to see. I'm in. We'll see how he handles it. Vladdy summed it up nicely.
Very well. Over to the gridiron. It is game day for the Edmonton Elks as they are back at home for the second time this season, hosting the winless Ottawa Red Blacks. Kickoff 7 o'clock tonight from Commonwealth Stadium. Current odds over at Bet365. Elks favored 6.5 points is the line. Elks need a bounce back performance, and I would hope it comes in a authoritative manner. I'll take the Elks not just to win tonight, but cover the 6.5 points.
I'll jump on this one. I'm in. The Red Blacks, you heard AJ Jack a bit earlier talking about their struggles, moving the ball. Jake Mayer, it's been tough going as they go through a rebuild, and they've had some tough games at 0-4. And this is an Edmonton team that's upset about losing in Kelowna to BC last week. They had some hiccups. I think they're hungry. I think the way Mark Killam prepares his team has them in attitude of we need to go out there and show that we're not the team that lost in Kelowna and play a little bit perturbed and ornery. I think those are the terms I'm looking for. And if Justin Rankin has a big game, which I think he will, they can balance the offense. I think we're talking about big Elks victory at Commonwealth today. So I'm in.
Ooh, you got me going. They lost against BC.
Yeah.
And they were winless.
BC was winless, but BC's got the best player in the league.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in on this.
Thank you.
You gonna go to the game, Vladdy?
No.
It's gonna be a nice night.
No, I have to babysit, and oh man, I have so much on my plate.
Who is this guy?
Talk to my
You're moving continents in a few weeks times, like that type of busy or something.
Yeah, like, just talk to my wife. She's got my schedule. Right? She runs my show right now.
Your wife and your personal secretary all in one.
Yeah, no, I'm in on this one. I hope the Elks pull it off.
They should.
Yeah. It kind of comes at a perfect spot as a bounce back against. Listen, they're the worst team in the CFL. Yeah. We all expected them to be when the season started, and they've lived up to it so far. Early going in the campaign. Quarterfinal action at the World Cup begins today. 2:00 kickoff between Morocco and France. That goes from Foxborough at the stadium normally home to the New England Patriots. And it is a heated race for the Golden Boot as the leading scorer of the World Cup. 4 players, all within 2 goals of the tournament lead so far. Maybe this is just a little bit of an ambitious hope that England can get through and play a couple more games. But I'm going to go outside of the current leader, and I think Harry Kane will be the trophy winner at tournament's end.
Well, I appreciate it. I really like Harry Kane, but I think Mbappe is gonna take the Golden Boot, guys. Like,
they're cruising.
I'm expecting. Well, you never know what's gonna happen. It's anybody can beat anybody in one game.
Yeah.
But I'm expecting France to go all the way. I don't know if they're going to win it, but I expect them to be in the final. Mbappe, in my opinion, has got the best support of other offensive players on the French team. Always say there's Dembele. They can deliver the balls in the box, and he knows how to finish it.
Yeah.
So like I think he's got the biggest chance
to take the
to take the golden boot from what I've seen so far.
Okay, I'm out on him on Harry Kane. No fault of his own. I'm gonna hop on the Holland the train or the rowing with him. I'll row with him, if you will. This guy's a one-man wrecking crew, dude.
I just think like that might be it for Norway, the next game.
You don't think they can get through England?
If they can, I'm right there with you, Tom.
It has to be him.
He's like the purest goal scorer I think that's in the tournament.
He's the best goal scorer just at the position.
Yeah.
At the position as a striker, he is the best in the world right now. So like, yeah, but I just don't expect Norway to beat.
They'll be in tough.
But and like Vladdy laid it out very logically about France and Mbappe, and
they're gonna play the most games, probably win the tournament. I would expect. They're my pick from the start. We kind of repicked, excuse me, yesterday.
Yep.
I'm still on with them. Funny, none of us picked the current leading scorer. So it's just 1 goal lead, but Messi and the GOAT.
Yeah.
But
there have been some.
Argentina's been weirdly suspect in their couple wins. Yeah. Even though he continues to score.
They haven't been great. They just pull the comeback against Egypt.
Who is still pissed about the reffing.
Oh man,
they're making a big deal out of it.
I know, like, the penalties, whatever, but the disallowed goal is insane. The play started on the other side. You let the entire team run to the opposition net, make a nice play, goal, and then you disallow the goal on like a BS call, in my opinion. There was a normal contact. That goal should have counted, in my opinion. But like, either call the foul right away or count the goal. Like, the referee let the entire sequence go. It should have been 3-0, I think, at that point. I think there was a 3-0 goal.
They got to 2-0, right?
Yeah.
But
because the disallowed goal
was the third.
It would have been the second. They scored the second.
It doesn't matter.
Scored the second very shortly
but
thereafter.
like, it was like, I watched the whole sequence and I'm like, what is he calling here?
I'm wondering what the communication is between like
I don't know.
off pitch, whatever they call the war room or whatever, and the ref. So
oh man, the war room. Oh my god, like it's been in soccer for a few years now.
People hate it.
I hate it, man. Like, just either call it as it is on the pitch. If you don't see it, too bad. There's like a bunch of people, but they don't even if they go back to the war room, they still make sometimes like bad decisions. So it's
we've seen that.
We've seen that.
Yeah.
It's undeniable. And I've seen it in Czech or other leagues, like during the season. I see it and the people are pissed off. Like, so you have all this videos, all this technology, like cameras, you still screw it up. Like, but it's from person to person. It's like in the NHL, goalie interference. My God.
What is it? Nope, nobody
knows. What is that? What is goalie interference? Nobody knows. Goalies are confused. Coaches are confused. Referees are probably the most confused.
Are they
like,
ever?
it's each referee calls a different thing. So nobody knows. It's the worst thing ever happened. Back in the day, without the camera system, nobody cared. Like, either you ran the goalie, you got 2 minutes out, you get probably killed in the process.
Yes.
Now it's like goalie interference. Everybody looking around like, is it or is it not? Nobody even touches the guy these days. It's supposed to be clean now, but yeah, I'm so confused. All this technology, and it hasn't got any better.
Nope.
In soccer, in hockey.
We don't have answers.
No.
Looking forward to France, Morocco today, Spain and Belgium tomorrow, and then on Saturday the doubleheader: Norway, England, and Argentina and Switzerland in the nightcap from Arrowhead Stadium. Yesterday afternoon, Dylan Cease, ace of the Blue Jays pitching staff, take a no-hitter into the 9th inning for the team. They go on to win the game 10-rip in easy fashion. The bid was ended on the first batter of the 9th inning, second pitch that he saw before being removed from the game. Rogers coming in on cleanup duty. Having your no-hitter bid be ended on the first batter, no outs or anything, hurts less than getting 2 or even just 1 out closer to completing the accomplishment of a no-hitter game?
Because it just stings that tiny bit more because you were that much closer to completing the no-hitter. I just think straight up getting it out of the way on the first batter, I don't think it messes with your head as much, in my opinion, as I got one more out or 2 more outs, and I was just one batter away from getting it done. So I'm in on it.
I agree. I'm in on it too.
And this seems like an obvious one. Maybe it does seem like an obvious one to some, but I just think because you've already stretched your pitch count, right? He's at 116 pitches. So when you go out there, you throw 2 more and then they hit out, you're like, well, that was pointless. So that's my only counter to it would be like, is there anything in the pitcher's head that says, well, why did I throw these extra 20 pitches if I wasn't even going to get that close? And listen, 3 outs is incredibly close. With the Blue Jays track record in this stat is insane, Laddie. They've only had 1 pitcher in the team's history throw a no-hitter, and I think it's 6 times total. Guys have taken it into the 9th inning and then lose it in the 9th.
Really?
Yeah,
it's super hard.
And the only guy that has done it, Dave Steve, this was back in the 90s. He did that, like take it into the 9th inning. I think 2 other times just himself. Legend. And then had it taken, had a hit come and knocked off.
Pretty impressive.
And the pitch count now and the limits and stuff like that.
And credit to John Schneider because he said, "Listen, we're going in like this is his last start before the All-Star break. He's got time to." He wasn't. He's like, this is a chance for team history, personal history for Cease.
Yep.
I'm going to roll him back out there and give him a chance to do it instead of he's already at 116 pitches. We're pulling him out of the game no matter what. So I respect Schneider for that. Tough he couldn't accomplish it, but good for the Jays to bounce back down in San Fran. Finally, July is National Ice Cream Month, and a little bit of nice weather these past couple of days actually has maybe some people jonesing for some ice cream treats. When you're at the counter of your local creamery on a hot Alberta day, best order, get yourself a couple scoops of all Canadian mousse or whatever its name is at your personal shop.
Vladdy, go ahead.
Explain to me all Canadian mousse. It sounds to me like a piece of crap on a side of the road.
Okay,
all Canadian mousse.
All Canadian mousse. So I'm just going to read this straight from the thing. Foothills Creamery is the one that comes up first. A rich blend of vanilla ice cream.
Oh, you lost me right there.
Thick chocolate marble. And here's where I think you'll like it, Laddie. Chunks of chocolate peanut butter cups in with the vanilla and sometimes you'll get a little bit of caramel in there too. Caramel drizzle across it. So this was my favorite at like the shop that Delburn had. I got it every time to this day. It's my favorite.
Go ahead.
It's like ordering pizza. It's like all Canadian pizza.
That's a real order.
Yeah, I know.
And
it's like going to Spice Cabinet, blow it up, and whatever blow up lands on the pizza. That's an all Canadian pizza. Like everything from the Spice Cabinet and probably half of the fridge and whatever. Terrible. Yes, I'm gonna go to the ice creamery. It's like, hey, out of all these great ice creams, I'm gonna go with all Canadian mousse crap. Come on, dude. You cannot be serious with this.
What about that does not sound good?
Vanilla?
You
want to be a vanilla? Do you want to be the vanilla guy?
Vanilla ice cream?
Are you vanilla guy?
Ice cream?
Vanilla.
Come on.
The only thing appealing to me was the peanut butter cup.
Yeah, it's awesome. They're like mini peanut butter.
I can get a chocolate peanut butter, which I've been eating past, 5 years every night. That would be something like that. But on a super hot day, I want something refreshing. So like fruity.
Ooh,
okay.
Like a sorbet,
but like cold and like.
Yeah.
So like a raspberry?
Refreshing.
Yeah, raspberry or a lemon or I like to mix lemon and strawberry or something like that, like refreshing. Not all Canadian mousse. You just throw it there because it says Canadian, hey?
That's my favorite ice cream. What do you mean I just threw it in there?
Do Americans have something like all American mousse or what do they
don't have
all American bear or like crab?
All American
eagle. Yeah.
Maybe. Might have to look into that.
I'll just listen.
I'm out.
I'm out with Vladdy. A sorbet and that on a gelato, if you
will.
Yeah, on a hot day. Of course, great.
Tom, Italian heritage.
Gelato is excellent.
Yeah.
We are going to Prague. There's a gelato place.
Actually.
Gelato place. Wonderful. And I told my son, 11-year-old, I was like, hey, gonna take you for a gelato. I just thought it's like gelato. I like ice cream. It's like, dude, similar thing, even better than ice cream. So I had to like be Googling what is the difference about ice cream and gelato. So he lost me. He's not going. He's not going. He can buy Ben and Jerry at the store or whatever. I'm gonna go to gelato by myself.
Basic.
All Canadian moose listeners, please.
Jack
Whatever
Michaels.
you do, if you're the hottest, if it's the hottest day, please don't get all Canadian. All Canadian
Cold.
moose.
It doesn't matter what's in it. It's ice cold.
I know we have
It's
to
not
get
refreshing. It's
He's
not.
got a point.
80 flavors. Go to 80 flavors. People don't get all Canadian moose. I don't even think they have all Canadian moose.
They probably have some of the same, just as a different name. Because I think the All Canadian Moose name is exclusive to Foothills Creamery. Like it's their thing. Which now that I think about it, was probably the shop that was in Delbert.
Did you strike a deal with Foothills Creamery?
No, but I
to say this on the air.
I'm clipping this and sending it to
man,
them,
he's
and they're
so
going to become my
shady. He's
personal.
such a salesman.
They're going to become
I'm
my
learning
personal
this.
ice cream sponsor.
You should have been a hockey agent, man.
He's got a way. I have the palate of an 80-year-old woman, according to Jack Michaels, when it comes to ice cream. I like butter pecan and like maple walnut, but I'm with Vladdy. You need something
Maple
refreshing.
walnuts.
I know it's weird.
Mike, I'm gonna jump through that window, guys, with you.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to the ice cream place with you.
Okay, fine. That was In or Out, brought to you by Pro Solutions. We got to take a quick break. We'll be back to wrap with Vladdy, Brandon, and Josh here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Too much fun.
Want home ice advantage for your window coverings? Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and the fastest turnaround in the city for homeowners, builders, and commercial projects. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at what'syourshare.ca.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, "Wow, great hair transplant." I want them to think,
"Wow, great hair."
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Final segment here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. Tom, Vladdy, Brandon, Josh with you. Hope you've enjoyed today's show. I know I have. I've had a ton of fun laughing, sharing old stories with Vladdy. We get to do it one more time.
Seriously, like I'm gonna miss this. Like now, I got a taste of Tom.
I'm
in
surprised.
a good way, listeners. Okay. Oh, I sound like Kevin now. I got a taste of Tom. Oh my God. I'm gonna go shower now.
What is happening?
What is happening?
Oh.
Well, Kevin over the years made some questionable calls. Hey, Duke, what was the one?
He's clever.
Laddie, you've banged 500 guys.
Yeah, I bet.
You ever just want to slip into a guy's body and mess around a little bit? I'll play the clip later. It's an all time.
He's very appropriate.
Okay.
I think he was a little horny in that chair. Right?
Montana to Rice says, "Taste of Tom." Whoa,
taste of Tom, eh?
Okay, you didn't play with Matt Hendricks, did you?
No, I haven't.
You missed. Okay, great guy.
I've heard good things about him.
We were in Minnesota, so it's a home game for him, right? He's back at home. And, in the locker room, there's that hallway, and then there's where Gene's room is, the little studio, and I would hang out with Gene and stuff before the games. And the guys are waiting to go out to warm up, and Hendo was, like, starting to get comfortable as an Oiler, and he's, like, smacking his shin pads. He's like, "Let's go, boys. Let's go bang some dudes out there. Come on, boys. Let's go bang some dudes." And we're all like looking at each other. We're like,
okay,
well,
Hendo.
Okay, Hendo.
Maybe hold your horses a little bit. I like that, eh?
Great guy.
I've heard good things about him. Yeah.
Awesome dude. You would have. He always carried like a briefcase around with him too. And he wore pleated pants. I'm sure you would have just laughed at him.
Suitcase?
Yeah.
What did he have in it?
Crackers.
Now it all makes sense. Bang some dudes. What's in the suitcase?
Well, I thought you were going to bring up your comparisons to that story you told about Yuri Hoodler's
his personal suitcase, the silver bullet suitcase.
What was in there?
You don't want to know. Not Vladdy already told the story on the radio. It was not fit for the radio.
Some toys. There's a 3-letter word before the toys.
I don't even.
True story.
I'll just leave that alone.
Well, I can't even say it's a European thing. It's just from a person to person thing. What a guy, Yuri Hoodler, guys. I like one of the best people I met in hockey.
You guys would have played together on Czech teams?
Yeah, and in Calgary. And the first time ever I played with him was World Juniors.
Mm-hmm.
I was double underager, and that was his last year. He's 84, and he was a big name. And
good player.
Yeah, really good player. But he was hard on me. He was hard on everybody, but he liked me. In a weird way. And then he became friends, and then we kind of reconnected on the national team and in Calgary, and he took care of me every time. And great guy. Very interesting. Not everybody like Yuri, because like I said, he could have been really hard on you, but my God, I have some best stories which we can air after 10 p.m. But yeah, hell of a guy.
Oh my goodness. You're a hell of a guy too. This has been way
Howie.
too much fun. We get to do it again next week.
Yes.
Before you're off to
my last one.
Check. Yep.
My last one, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. This was awesome.
We'll have to touch base with you when you're overseas.
Well, if Duke can do that one drop.
Can you do it, Duke?
Yes, we could do. We did. If Vladdy ever responds to my messages, that's another whole story in and of itself.
I just learned that I can keep my number even in Czech. My wife went to
really?
To tell us, and they have this new program that you can use your phone like you would be here. You just pay a little bit extra monthly, but I can use
right on.
So
we'll look.
So before I was super busy and I didn't always get the messages. Now, if I don't respond to you, I'm just ignoring you. Okay.
That's what I assumed all the time.
No. There's other people that I try to ignore, but not you. Now I know. I got to know you on a personal level and a bunch of dinners, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it to get some hits from Czech, I guess.
Oh yeah,
you can call.
That's Vladdy Schmid, everybody. Fantastic Thursday edition of the show. Elks and Red Blacks tonight. I'll be on the sidelines on the broadcast. Hope to see you down at Commonwealth. To wrap things up here on the Gazzola Show, a sports update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of RE/MAX Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly, 780-265-165. The Duke. Brandon next with the sports update. Have a fantastic day, everyone.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Breaking news out of the NHL this morning as the Anaheim Ducks have matched the 5-year, $90 million offer sheet that Leo Carlsson had signed with the Philadelphia Flyers last Friday, keeping the former number 2 overall pick with his Anaheim Ducks club. Chicago Blackhawks forward Connor Bedard injuring himself in an offseason workout, requiring surgery on his shoulder. He's going to be sidelined for the next 4 months. Week 6 in the CFL kicking off tonight from Commonwealth Stadium. Edmonton Elks hosting the winless Ottawa Red Blacks. Game getting underway at 7 o'clock here in Edmonton. And out in Winnipeg, the Blue Bombers announcing that Zach Collaros will not be available for tomorrow night's game against the Argonauts. Newly acquired Drew Brown set to start under center. World Cup quarterfinals kicking off today in Boston. Foxborough, more specifically, between France and Morocco. That underway at 2 o'clock. And in the majors today, no Blue Jays is there on an off day, but a couple others, including one already underway. Braves up 1-0 on the Pirates. Royals and Mets set to get underway, and still to come, Rays, Yankees, Cubs, Orioles, and the Red Sox in Chicago against the White Sox. Edmonton Riverhawks rubber match tonight from Remax Field, taking on Nanaimo. First pitch just after 7 o'clock. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with guest host Declan Kruger. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports